Chapter 1860. Why didn't the ancestor come? The blissful world of the Buddha clan, which was supposed to be a place of peace and beauty, had now been completely turned into ruins by a great battle. The destructive power of a battle between those at the other shore realm was far greater than that of divine lords. Even the aftermath was enough to destroy the heavens and the earth. Zhu Qiwu struck out with palm after palm, each containing the terrifying star-shattering law. The power of rules was integrated into it, elevating the law to a rule, and wherever it passed, other laws were obliterated. Unless it encountered special laws like the Fate Law, Zhu Qiwu's star-shattering law was extremely terrifying, almost invincible. Zhu Qiwu clearly had a grudge against the Buddha clan. He struck with extreme ferocity, showing no intention of holding back. The star-shattering law roared, and the Law Star River draped over him like battle armor.
Palm shatters the starry sky.
He roared angrily and used his spell. In the starry sky, countless stars suddenly appeared, then shattered, along with the starry sky itself. The ancient Buddha fighting against him let out a miserable scream. His body shattered into pieces, and then his soul was also obliterated. After delivering this strike, Zhu Qiwu panted heavily, clearly under great pressure. This strike came from the inheritance of the star-shattering supreme, which he had only recently mastered and could barely use. He threw a few pills into his mouth, looked around, and searched for his next opponent. Soon he saw an ancient Buddha.
It's you, the one who attacked Brother Lin back then. I remember your aura. Die.
Zhu Qiwu roared and charged forward with overwhelming momentum. Years ago, an ancient Buddha had used a causal connection to strike at Lin Moyu, nearly killing him. Lin Moyu remembered, and so did Zhu Qiwu. Now that he had the chance, Zhu Qiwu naturally wanted to settle the score. His brother wasn't here, so he would collect the debt on his behalf. With this thought, Zhu Qiwu charged forward with surging killing intent. The ancient Buddha was terrified, but he was entangled by an elder of the Star Ocean fish people and couldn't escape. His face was filled with despair, and he even forgot to chant.
Amitabha.
The past Buddha was trapped, and now the present Buddha and future Buddha found it difficult to fully utilize the Fate Law. After successive battles, both were seriously injured. The future Buddha seemed to see his own future and transmitted.
Awaken the ancestor.
The present Buddha nodded.
We have no other choice.
He chanted a Buddha name and took out a special string of prayer beads. This string of prayer beads was not large, but it had many beads, totaling 1,080. The entire string of prayer beads emitted a terrifying aura of fate, having been blessed by the Fate Law for countless years to reach its current state. As the prayer beads were taken out, the Fate Law Star River reappeared. The Battle Saint Lord's face changed slightly.
Be careful, this is a Fate Law treasure of the other shore realm.
The Fate Law was a special and mysterious law, its power unfathomable. Although it currently seemed unable to attack, no one could be sure. With the Battle Saint Lord's reminder, everyone became vigilant. The present Buddha threw the prayer beads into the sky, where they exploded into a bright light and flew into the distance. The light moved at an astonishing speed, far exceeding the speed of light. It jumped through space like the space law, making it impossible to stop. Even Yu Qingxue, who was most proficient in the space law, was powerless. The scene suddenly fell silent, as if nothing had happened. The silence lasted for 2 seconds before the Battle Saint Lord snorted.
No matter what tricks you have, kill them first.
Yu Qingxue also reacted and attacked again. Space shattered into fragments, and countless spatial forces roared. The Battle Saint Lord swung the sword of causality again, using the multicolored water.
This sword will hit.
With cause and effect, the cause was the Battle Saint Lord swinging the sword, and the effect was the future Buddha being struck. The future Buddha's robe billowed, blocking the attack. The killing Saint Lord suddenly appeared beside the future Buddha, the shadow law erupting, successfully ambushing him again. Half of the future Buddha's body was blown apart, his aura plummeting. The killing Saint Lord also used the multicolored water, greatly enhancing his attack power. Taking advantage of his weakness, the Battle Saint Lord's attacks became even more fierce, putting the future Buddha in a precarious situation. The future Buddha thought of the scenes he had seen not long ago, where he saw rivers of blood flowing in the Buddha clan. Now he finally understood that those scenes were real.
Our Buddha clan has always been neutral. Why?
He still held onto a glimmer of hope, or perhaps he wanted to buy some time. The Battle Saint Lord sneered.
You can say that when you reach the true blissful world.
His attacks became even more ferocious, aiming to kill the future Buddha on the spot.
Hold on.
The present Buddha rushed over to help the future Buddha. Time passed second by second, and the hearts of the two Buddhas sank rapidly. The ice and fire heavenly Buddha they had anticipated did not come. They didn't know if their treasure had failed or if the ice and fire heavenly Buddha was truly dead. The present Buddha whispered,
I just checked recently. The ice and fire heavenly Buddha was still there. But why didn't the ancestor come?
The past Buddha smiled bitterly. Whether he was there or not was no longer important. What mattered was that he didn't come. They knew the Buddha clan was finished. Once they died, the Buddha clan would be slaughtered. The future Buddha transmitted to the present Buddha.
With my last strength, I will send you away.
The present Buddha panicked.
What about you?
The future Buddha smiled bitterly.
I am already severely injured and cannot recover without 10,000 years. I will send you away, and you can hide and find a chance to rebuild the Buddha clan and avenge us.
The present Buddha didn't hesitate.
I will definitely rebuild the Buddha clan.
The future Buddha chanted a Buddha name, and countless Buddha lights surged from his body, transforming into a giant golden Buddha. The Buddha enveloped them, blocking all attacks.
Relax, don't resist. I will send you away.
The future Buddha said. The present Buddha immediately relaxed, not resisting at all. The golden Buddha suddenly shrank and entered the present Buddha's body. The space around the present Buddha shattered, and he disappeared into it. At the same time, the future Buddha's body swelled like a balloon.
Retreat. He's going to self-destruct.
A self-destructing other shore realm expert had unimaginable power, capable of destroying the entire blissful world. Everyone quickly retreated without hesitation. 2 seconds later, a loud explosion echoed, and the future Buddha self-destructed, unleashing terrifying energy across the starry sky. All other shore realm experts were affected by the self-destruction, coughing up blood. Even the Saint Lords were not spared, being closer to the explosion and suffering greater impact. The Battle Saint Lord suddenly said,
Something's wrong. A Saint Lord's self-destruction shouldn't be this weak.
Yu Qingxue pondered.
I felt the future Buddha's soul seemed to enter the present Buddha's body. So it was only his physical body that self-destructed, which is why the power was so small.
The Battle Saint Lord asked urgently,
Can we catch up?
Yu Qingxue said,
I'll try to find the spatial traces. You deal with the past Buddha first.
The Battle Saint Lord nodded and transmitted to House Saint Lord.
Release the rule world. We're coming in.
A portal appeared in front of House Saint Lord, and they rushed in. In just 2 minutes, the battle in the rule world ended. They returned with the past Buddha's corpse. At the same time, the battle on the other shoreside was also nearing its end. 1861. Chapter 1861. Using the Buddha as a punching bag. In the Buddha clan's star domain, far from the blissful world, the present Buddha suddenly appeared amidst a spatial distortion. The present Buddha sighed in relief, finally having escaped. He looked around to confirm his location. He was in the middle region of the Buddha clan's star domain. Here, he could feel the entire Buddha clan's star domain trembling and wailing. Blood had already stained the star river, and there were souls and spirits everywhere. His eyes were filled with hatred.
I will return, and the blood debt will be repaid.
He determined his direction and was about to leave when his body suddenly froze. Then he angrily shouted,
Future Buddha, what are you doing?
The future Buddha's voice came from his mouth.
Present Buddha, I want to borrow your body.
The present Buddha shouted,
You want to possess me?
The future Buddha laughed.
Don't make it sound so bad. My physical body self-destructed to cover your escape. Now, it's not too much to borrow your body, right? You know how difficult it is to reconstruct a physical body at our level.
The present Buddha was furious.
Get out. I promised to find a way to reconstruct your body. It's too late. You didn't resist earlier, and I've already taken over half of your body. Now you can't leave even if you want to.
The two were now sharing one body, speaking with one mouth but in two voices. The future Buddha had taken advantage of the present Buddha's lack of resistance to occupy half of his body. The future Buddha said softly,
I am the future Buddha. The future belongs to me. Stop resisting. I promise I won't destroy your soul. When there's a chance, I'll help you reconstruct your body.
The present Buddha sneered.
Do you believe your own lies? If you want to do this, then neither of us will leave. They'll catch up soon.
The present Buddha planned to drag things out. If the future Buddha wanted his body and to imprison his soul, then no one would get what they wanted. The future Buddha laughed.
It's useless. Haven't you noticed? Your body is already out of your control.
During their conversation, the future Buddha had taken over more of the body. The present Buddha finally showed panic.
What race are you? How can you so easily take over my body?
As fellow Buddhas, he had no idea of the future Buddha's true race. The future Buddha sneered.
I come from an ancient race, the soul devourers.
The present Buddha's heart trembled.
Impossible. The soul devourers were exterminated by Shao Zhantian.
The future Buddha laughed.
I am the last survivor of the soul devourers. You should know you can't resist me.
As the two fought for control, a warship appeared in the distance. Lin Moyu saw them from afar. In his necromancer vision, he saw two enormous soul flames, brighter than stars. Lin Moyu often dealt with Saint Lords and immediately recognized that these soul flames belonged to Saint Lords. Moreover, he could sense the detestable aura of the Buddha clan from afar. There was no need to say more. These were Saint Lords of the Buddha clan, the Buddhas. What puzzled Lin Moyu was that the two soul flames were together and seemed to be clashing, fighting.
Are they fighting each other?
He signaled Yu Qingru to stop the warship at a distance, planning to go over and take a look. Yu Qingru was very worried, as these were two Buddhas. Lin Moyu reassured her.
If anything goes wrong, I'll tell you to leave immediately. With the space sealed, even the Buddhas can't catch you.
Yu Qingru worriedly asked.
What about you?
Lin Moyu laughed.
I have my ways to stay alive. They can't kill me. I guess they were losing the battle and used some secret method to escape from the blissful world. If I can hold them off for a while, the Saint Lords will arrive soon. If they escape, it will be endless trouble, and who knows what the cost will be.
Lin Moyu's reasoning was sound, but Yu Qingru was still worried.
Be careful, safety first.
Lin Moyu smiled.
Don't worry. Inform the Saint Lords and tell them the exact location.
He left the warship, turning into a stream of light and approaching the two. He wasn't lying. He indeed had trump cards. Lin Moyu wouldn't risk his life recklessly. His life was too precious to be wasted. With the tokens of House Saint Lord and Killing Saint Lord, the life-saving ancient rune from Symbol Saint Lord, a substitute puppet, the multicolored water, and 7 belief tokens, these were enough to protect him for a while even in front of Saint Lords. Lin Moyu trusted his judgment, and with Yu Qingru informing the Saint Lords of their location, he only needed to hold them off. The future Buddha and present Buddha were still fighting for control of the body, with the present Buddha clearly at a disadvantage. The soul devourer's characteristic was to devour souls and bodies. In this aspect, the present Buddha was at a disadvantage and had almost lost control of his body. The soul devourers were terrifying, not only devouring bodies but also souls. Lin Moyu's sudden appearance caused their struggle to pause. From a distance of 10,000 meters, Lin Moyu said,
Two Buddhas, are you fighting each other?
The future Buddha's voice boomed.
Get lost.
His voice was like a torrent, causing waves in the starry sky. With his roar, laws shattered. Lin Moyu's body shone with purple gold light, unaffected. The future Buddha was stunned. His roar could injure even saint lords, and lesser gods would surely die. But Lin Moyu, a lesser god, was unharmed.
Get lost, or I'll kill you.
The future Buddha roared again, sensing something was wrong. Lin Moyu laughed.
I see the situation clearly now.
The Buddha's body was unnatural, and the two Buddhas seemed to be fighting for control. Lin Moyu chuckled.
Since you two are inconvenienced, I won't be polite.
Taking advantage of their weakness, Lin Moyu wouldn't hold back. His body shone with purple gold light, and the undying flame covered the starry sky. The Skeleton King appeared with his throne, and the skeleton generals and legion ruler filled the starry sky. 50 million skeleton generals surrounded the entire starry sky. The future Buddha's face changed drastically.
You are Lin Moyu. Correct, but no reward.
Lin Moyu charged with cold-killing intent. His purple gold body pushed to the limit. Lin Moyu crossed the 10,000 meters in an instant and punched the future Buddha. A flash of purple gold light, and the future Buddha screamed as he was sent flying. Although he controlled most of the body, he was still a bit short. Facing Lin Moyu's attack, he couldn't dodge in time. Lin Moyu's punch was extremely powerful, tearing his skin and flesh. Even for a Saint Lord, the body's strength was only at the god level. The purple gold body was stronger than a god-level body, and Lin Moyu's punch was enough to cause significant damage. Lin Moyu moved like lightning, catching up to the Buddha and punching again. In the starry sky, a bizarre scene unfolded. The Buddha was like a ragged punching bag, flying around as Lin Moyu punched him back and forth. Buddha blood splattered across the starry sky. Thousands of punches landed every second, and Lin Moyu grew more excited as he fought. After several minutes, Lin Moyu finally stopped, looking at the nearly pulverized Buddha body. He comfortably stretched his arms.
That felt great.
Such a durable punching bag was hard to find, and Lin Moyu had thoroughly enjoyed the fight. The future Buddha let out a hoarse roar.
You seek death.
Lin Moyu laughed.
You can try.
In the next second, a cold light flashed. The Skeleton King's god-slaying slash, the Legion ruler's deadly strike, and the Skeleton General's sword energy instantly engulfed him. 1862. Chapter 1862. Lin Moyu will die here. Countless attacks engulfed the present Buddha. The undead army was only at the Divine Lord realm, with the strongest Skeleton King being just a high-level Divine Lord, still far from the level of the present Buddha. Normally, their attacks wouldn't even be able to get close to the present Buddha. However, at this moment, inside the present Buddha's body, two souls were fighting for control of the physical body, causing it to be stiff and unable to move. And after being pummeled by Lin Moyu, the body was almost beaten to a pulp, completely breaking its defenses. The attacks from the undead army could now have some effect. In Lin Moyu's eyes, the current situation was like fighting an overpowered boss in a small world game, where each hit only did minimal damage, commonly known as
scratching.
Tax. Lin Moyu had used this method before to grind down many dungeon bosses in games. Now he was using the same trick, trying to grind down the present Buddha. If a mighty Saint Lord realm expert were to be killed by such a method, who knows how frustrated they would feel. Of course, Lin Moyu didn't think this was a given. His goal had always been to stall for time, not to actually kill the present Buddha. He was very clear about his own strength and knew he couldn't kill the Buddha. Millions of undead troops formed countless layers of encirclement. Lin Moyu kept retreating, moving to the outermost layer of the encirclement. Waves of Buddhist chants sounded, and the Buddha Lich appeared beside him. Lin Moyu activated True Sight, trying to see the future. Unfortunately, there was still no result. The law of fate was still being interfered with, and True Sight couldn't predict the future. Lin Moyu knew that True Sight only touched upon some superficial aspects of the law of fate, could only work when there was no interference. Now that the law of fate was being interfered with, true sight had lost its effectiveness. With true sight useless, Lin Moyu could only rely on his intuition. Saint Lord Hao's voice came through the shell.
Hold him off. We're on our way and will arrive in 10 minutes.
With the space doubly sealed, even though the Star Ocean fish people had communication methods, they were also affected. It had been several minutes since Yu Qingru sent out the message, and Lin Moyu had just received a reply. Lin Moyu calculated in his mind.
The message must have been sent about 3 minutes ago, which means the Saint Lords will arrive in 7 minutes. I need to hold out for these 7 minutes.
7 minutes was neither long nor short. For someone at the level of a Buddha Saint Lord, a lot could be done in 7 minutes. Destroying a few star systems would be more than enough. As he was thinking about how to get through these 7 minutes, his heart suddenly filled with alarm, and his soul kept sending warning signals. At the same time, an angry voice echoed through space.
How dare you insult me like this? I will kill you and imprison your soul to be tormented for 100,000 years.
A powerful aura rose from within the encirclement of the undead army, and a huge Buddha statue appeared in space. Inside the Buddha statue, the present Buddha's physical body had already recovered. Countless attacks landed on the Buddha statue, but they were like a drop in the ocean, causing no ripples at all.
Recovered?
Lin Moyu's heart tightened, but he felt something was off. The aura emanating from the present Buddha was very strong, but it only equaled that of an other shore realm expert. Earlier, when the two were fighting for control of the body, the aura they gave off was that of a true Saint Lord. It was precisely because of this that Lin Moyu could immediately identify them as Buddhas who had escaped. Now, the Buddha had changed from a Buddha ancestor to an ancient Buddha, a significant downgrade.
He paid a price to recover.
Lin Moyu thought.
His aura has dropped from Buddha ancestor to ancient Buddha, but I'm not sure if his actual strength has decreased. However, this is beneficial for me. Holding out for 7 minutes shouldn't be a problem now.
Lin Moyu's thoughts raced, instantly assessing the situation before him. The ancient Buddha's gaze pierced through space, passing through the undead army and landing on Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu's heart tightened. He knew he had been locked onto by the ancient Buddha. But so what? With a thought, the undead army continued their attacks, filling all the gaps between himself and the ancient Buddha. On the surface, it seemed that to kill him, one would have to first kill all these undead troops. But Lin Moyu knew things probably weren't that simple. The warnings from his soul were growing stronger, as if something bad was about to happen. A strange river of stars appeared in space. This river of stars was somewhat illusory, not quite real. This indicated that the being summoning this river of law stars did not have perfect control over it. Lin Moyu looked at this suddenly appearing river of law stars.
This is the law of fate.
He thought of the abilities of the 3 Buddha ancestors in the Buddha clan. Together, they could use the complete law of fate. Now separated, their control over the law of fate was weakened, but they could still use it. Compared to his own true sight technique, this was much stronger.
Fate decrees that the human Lin Moyu shall perish under this strike.
A terrifying voice thundered through space. Lin Moyu's heart tightened, and for no reason, a thought arose in his mind that he was going to die. He immediately guarded his mind, erasing this inappropriate thought. An invisible force had influenced his thinking, making Lin Moyu feel uneasy.
So this is the law of fate?
The next second, he looked up to see a giant Buddha palm pressing down towards him from the sky. This palm ignored the undead army, targeting only him. Lin Moyu felt himself being locked onto. Apart from taking the hit head-on, there was no other way out. If he could withstand it, he would live. If not, he would die. The river of fate law stars surged, raising huge waves, constantly influencing Lin Moyu. Various chaotic thoughts arose in his soul.
I can't withstand this palm. There's no need to resist, just give up. I can't possibly defy fate. Fate has already determined the outcome.
All sorts of jumbled thoughts boiled in his mind, affecting all of Lin Moyu's actions.
Get lost!
Lin Moyu roared inwardly, erasing these inappropriate thoughts for the second time. But the law of fate still came rolling in, continuously influencing Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu firmly guarded his mind, no longer affected. Looking up at the descending Buddha palm, the bone hell appeared, only to be instantly crushed. The bone hell had fulfilled its purpose, completing the marking. Soul locked on. A corpse appeared in Lin Moyu's hand. It was the corpse of a peak divine lord. He had 10 such corpses in his possession. 100 drops of multicolored water flew out, dispersing in space. A belief token shattered, and 100,000 units of belief power burned simultaneously. Star-level spell. Corpse explosion. The peak divine lord's corpse turned to dust on the spot. With a thunderous boom, the Buddha palm exploded. With multiple enhancements, the power of the strike reached the other shore realm, matching the present Buddha's palm strike.
Impossible!
The present Buddha's incredulous voice echoed through space. How could his fatal palm strike, guided by the law of fate, be so easily broken? In his shock, he also understood what had happened.
Multicolored water, belief power. Lin Moyu, your strength has truly impressed this Buddha.
Lin Moyu sneered.
There's plenty more to impress you.
After this exchange, Lin Moyu had confirmed that the present Buddha's strength had indeed greatly decreased. He had dropped from a Buddha ancestor to an ancient Buddha. The only troublesome thing was the law of fate. Other than that, he was just equivalent to an ordinary other shore realm expert. Although the plan was to stall, there were many ways to stall. Lin Moyu didn't like being passively beaten. He chose to take the initiative to attack. An ancient jade token appeared in his hand, and Lin Moyu's aura began to surge wildly. 1863. Chapter 1863. Then let's die together. Original technique. Gathering power. Lin Moyu instantly broke through the limits of the God's sovereign realm, his aura soaring to the sky. The present Buddha was stunned for a moment, then exclaimed in shock.
Original technique? How do you possess an original technique?
Lin Moyu sneered.
Are you an idiot?
Such a question was impossible to answer. The Buddha in front of him must have a broken brain. The Law Star River baptized 99%, with the purple gold body as the foundation, raising the upper limit once again. After staying at the 6th stage of the God Sovereign for half a second, he leaped again, entering the 7th stage of the God Sovereign. A trace of the power of rules was born within him, containing the forces of life and death. Compared to the undying law, the power of the undying rule was stronger, and the forces of life and death were more fully integrated, becoming indistinguishable from each other. The fusion of gray and white presented a color similar to chaos, yet clearer than chaos. Lin Moyu felt he could still manipulate it, but it was difficult and not at will. He knew his realm was still insufficient. This was just a temporary elevation, not a true high-level God Sovereign. But it didn't matter. What mattered was that the elevated realm gave him corresponding soul power. All the soul power was injected into the ancient talisman, and thousands of drops of colorful water flew out, a belief plaque burning fiercely, injecting the power of 160,000 beliefs into the ancient talisman. Lin Moyu used all his strength to push the power of the ancient talisman to the limit. With a buzz, the Star River shattered, and a giant fist of the ancient talisman appeared in the starry sky. The giant fist was incredibly heavy, exuding a dense power of rules, crushing space and shattering the Star River. At this moment, the giant fist reached the other shore realm, perhaps not as powerful as a full-force strike of the other shore realm. But even if they were both in the other shore realm, the present Buddha had to deal with it with all his might, or he would likely be severely injured. The giant fist exploded with astonishing suction, firmly holding the present Buddha, making it impossible for him to escape. The present Buddha roared.
Devouring fire Buddha lotus.
He formed a lotus with his hands, and a giant lotus appeared in the starry sky. The lotus was bathed in fire, and wherever the flames reached, the undead army collapsed. In an instant, millions of skeleton gods died. The technique of the other shore realm was incredibly powerful in both range and might, making it unstoppable. The devouring fire Buddha lotus spun wildly in the starry sky, spewing endless flames. Lin Moyu frowned, realizing he had underestimated the other shore realm. Moreover, the ancient Buddha in front of him was not an ordinary ancient Buddha. He was an ancient Buddha descended from the Buddha, possessing techniques incomparable to ordinary ancient Buddhas. The token to kill the Holy Sovereign was in his hand, ready to be activated at any moment. Suddenly, the devouring fire Buddha lotus trembled violently, accompanied by a rumbling sound, and disintegrated on its own. All the flames disappeared at that moment.
Present Buddha, you still want to resist?
The past Buddha's angry roar echoed. The present Buddha's voice also came from the same mouth.
If you want me to die, then you won't live either. Do you think you've taken over the body? This is my body, not something you can easily take over. Can't move? That was just a small joy for you. Now comes the main course. Human boy, hurry up, he can't move now.
Lin Moyu understood that the past Buddha wanted to devour the present Buddha's body. The present Buddha had temporarily retreated, allowing the present Buddha to take over for a moment. But the present Buddha had not given up, waiting for the opportunity to strike again. They fell into another battle for control of the body. Without the Buddha lotus blocking, the ancient talisman's punch reached the front in an instant. Boom! The starry sky was suddenly smashed into a huge gap, and the golden Buddha statue shattered into pieces. The past Buddha let out a terrifying scream. This punch not only shattered the body but also penetrated the soul. The present Buddha screamed along with the past Buddha. Sharing one body, the ancient talisman's punch treated them as one. Lin Moyu frowned.
The power is dispersed.
The power of the ancient talisman's punch could be divided into two parts, one to crush the body and the other to destroy the soul. Even in the other shore realm, without defense, both the body and soul would be severely injured. But reality was different. There were two souls in the present Buddha's body, and the power of the ancient talisman's punch was divided into two, falling on both souls. As a result, both souls were injured, but not too severely. Moreover, the degree of injury was different. The present Buddha's soul became weaker, while the past Buddha's soul was only slightly weakened. This punch completely broke the balance between the two. Lin Moyu sensed this and decisively activated the token to kill the Holy Sovereign. The token contained a trace of the Holy Sovereign's soul, usually in a dormant state. Now activated, the token turned to powder, and a Holy Sovereign appeared beside Lin Moyu. The Holy Sovereign's aura was about the other shore realm, with dull eyes, lacking intelligence, not knowing what to do. It was like a puppet needing Lin Moyu's command.
Kill him!
Lin Moyu's thought moved, and the Holy Sovereign instantly disappeared into the darkness. In the next moment, a shadow appeared beside the present Buddha. The shadow held a pitch-black dagger and stabbed it in fiercely. The two Buddhas were still fighting for control of the body, their souls in a frenzy, unable to react to the sudden intervention of the Holy Sovereign. The shadow rule exploded, accompanied by a rumbling sound, and the Buddha's body was blasted with a huge hole. The screams were unimaginable, with two completely different screams coming from one mouth. The Holy Sovereign, following Lin Moyu's command, launched continuous attacks. In the blink of an eye, the Buddha's body was riddled with holes. The screams continued, and the shadow rule's corrosive nature made the wounds difficult to heal. At this rate, not to mention 7 minutes, in another minute, the present Buddha's body would completely collapse. By then, it wouldn't be about holding on for 7 minutes but achieving the feat of killing the Holy Sovereign. But killing a Holy Sovereign was not so easy. Lin Moyu felt things wouldn't go so smoothly. The future Buddha roared.
If you continue to resist, we will both die.
The present Buddha coldly said,
Then let's die together. This is my body, and I won't give it to you.
The future Buddha's voice became more frantic.
If that's the case, then you die.
The riddled body suddenly swelled, like a leaking balloon, yet expanding to the point of explosion.
Not good, he's going to self-destruct.
Lin Moyu immediately retreated, knowing how terrifying a holy sovereign's self-destruction could be. Even with multiple lives, it wouldn't be enough. As he retreated, he sent a message to Yu Qingru.
Retreat, retreat.
He also recalled the undead army, placing a large number of undead in front of him as a shield. His voice was urgent, and Yu Qingru reacted quickly, immediately starting the battleship. Boom! The present Buddha exploded, and the terrifying energy swept through the starry sky. Lin Moyu watched the horrifying shockwave approach, his purple gold body shining, the star tower lich appearing, scattering starlight. Lin Moyu knew it was basically useless, but it was better than nothing. Countless skeleton gods lost contact with him as the massive energy swept in.
Big trouble.
Lin Moyu muttered, seeing the nearest holy sovereign annihilated in the Buddha's self-destruction. The energy reached him, and Lin Moyu was ready to withstand it. He had 2 resurrection chances and a substitute puppet. Lin Moyu thought the worst would be losing the substitute puppet, but he wouldn't die. But suddenly, space twisted, and Yu Qingru's princess battleship appeared in front of him, blocking the incoming shockwave. 1864. Chapter 1864. Acting, I'm serious about it. The moment the battleship appeared, the impact followed closely. The battleship burst out with deep blue light. Space was twisted and torn, forming a space barrier trying to block the impact. Unfortunately, the power of the self-destruction was too strong, and the space barrier that had just formed was instantly broken. The Princess battleship was on the verge of collapse under the impact of the self-destruction energy. It continued to activate the space laws, continuously resisting the self-destruction, firmly shielding Lin Moyu behind it. Lin Moyu watched as cracks appeared on the battleship's hull, ready to collapse at any moment. Once the battleship collapsed, Yu Qingru inside would have no chance of survival. Bang! Dense cracks appeared on the battleship. It was about to give in.
Stupid woman!
Lin Moyu cursed softly and rushed to the other end of the battleship, his whole body flashing with purple light, and punched heavily on the head of the battleship. The battleship was immediately knocked off course, flying to the other side. The purple gold body fully unfolded. Lin Moyu at this moment transformed into a giant, blocking the remaining impact for the battleship. The purple gold body collapsed under the impact. Lin Moyu watched as his own flesh was pulverized by the violent force. The purple gold body was strong, but not absolutely strong. Facing the self-destruction of a holy sovereign, it was still not enough. It could only last for a few seconds. The star tower lich collapsed instantly, dying very quickly. Fortunately, the lich would not truly die. It would just take some time to revive. Lin Moyu threw out thousands of punches. In an instant, countless purple lights flashed across the starry sky like meteors, swallowed by the self-destruction. When the physical strength reaches a certain level, it can break all laws, but Lin Moyu was still a bit short. The purple gold body completely collapsed after holding on for a few seconds. Then a flash of purple light passed. The rebirth talent activated, and Lin Moyu was reborn. Everything returned to its peak state, and the purple gold body unfolded again.
The power of the self-destruction has weakened.
Lin Moyu was slightly pleased. After being blocked by the Princess battleship, part of the self-destruction energy had been consumed. Later, he threw out millions of punches, offsetting part of the self-destruction energy. After completing a rebirth, the self-destruction energy was already more than half less than before. Lin Moyu judged that he wouldn't even need a second rebirth. He could survive this self-destruction. Suddenly, a sense of alertness rose in his heart.
No, it's not that easy. The power of the Buddha's self-destruction can't be so small. The last words of the future Buddha, just now where you go die, not we die together. Only the physical body self-destructed, not the soul.
At the level of the Buddha, the soul can survive for a long time after leaving the body. If it wanted to escape, he couldn't possibly catch up. However, without the protection of the physical body, the soul would also become fragile and very dangerous. Lin Moyu judged that the future Buddha would never put himself in such a dangerous situation. There was only one possibility, the future Buddha had his eyes on his physical body.
Possession.
An ancient and terrifying term appeared in his mind. In the history of the great world, there were several races with the ability to devour others' souls and occupy others' bodies. This ability was called possession. Because this ability was too terrifying, those races had been wiped out in the tide of history. But just now, the future Buddha was clearly possessing the past Buddha. Lin Moyu suddenly realized. He knew what race the future Buddha was. Both were Buddhas with equivalent realms and could still gain the upper hand in possession. There was only one race, the Soul Devourers. 100,000 years ago, 200 races formed an army to attack the human race, and the Soul Devourers were one of them. At that time, many humans were occupied by the Soul Devourers, who manipulated human bodies and killed humans. Later, Xiao Zhantian was born, and the first thing he did was to slaughter the entire Soul Devourer race. It was said that the Soul Devourer race had been exterminated, with no survivors. Now it seemed that this was not the case. Not only were there survivors, but their descendants were still reproducing, and some had even achieved the status of Buddha. A faint light flashed in front of him. Lin Moyu's heart moved.
Here it comes.
A very weak light group, hidden in the shock wave, approached cautiously. It was extremely careful, only approaching when it was sure that Lin Moyu was really done for.
Hidden well.
To hide the energy of the holy sovereign realm so perfectly, Lin Moyu had to admire it. If he didn't also have a soul at the other shore realm, it would be impossible to detect. Lin Moyu pretended not to notice it, continuing to grit his teeth and endure the explosion impact. His body became more and more broken, getting closer and closer to death.
The Soul Devourers have no physical body. Their strength lies in their soul. The possession of the Soul Devourers requires two preconditions. One is that the possessed party has no resistance, allowing it to freely enter the soul world and occupy the body. The second is that the other party is on the verge of death, with consciousness gradually dissipating, but not completely dead. One of the two conditions must be met to complete the possession. I now meet the second condition, but it is very cautious and has not come over. It is waiting for me to become weaker, preferably waiting for me to lose consciousness, but not completely dead. Since you are so cautious, I will lure you over.
Lin Moyu's thoughts were like electricity, immediately formulating a corresponding plan. He was serious about acting, very serious. Gradually, Lin Moyu became weaker and weaker, the situation getting worse and worse. The soul of the past Buddha was also gradually approaching. Both were very cautious. There was movement in the battleship. Yu Qingru seemed to want to come out. But she didn't dare to come out. Although the power of the explosion had weakened a lot, the surroundings were still filled with terrifying energy flows. With her strength, leaving the battleship would be certain death. Lin Moyu could only hope that Yu Qingru wouldn't come out. He couldn't send a message to Yu Qingru. After all, there was a holy sovereign realm soul devourer nearby. His message could easily be detected. But he couldn't send a message. It didn't mean Yu Qingru wouldn't. Yu Qingru's anxious voice came through.
Lin Moyu, are you okay? Are you okay? How are you?
At the moment when Yu Qingru's soul message came, the approaching light group suddenly stopped. Lin Moyu knew that the other party could indeed hear the soul message. His heart moved, and he also sent a weak message back.
No. I'm fine.
His voice was very weak. Even the message was intermittent. Yu Qingru felt Lin Moyu's weakness.
You must hold on. You must hold on. The elders should be arriving soon. They will be here in a few minutes.
Lin Moyu responded with a light hum, then stopped speaking. It seemed that he didn't even have the strength to speak. His breath was rapidly declining, becoming weaker and weaker. Yu Qingru anxiously kept sending messages, but got no response. The future Buddha finally moved again, approaching Lin Moyu again, and faster than before, as if in a hurry. An invisible wave emanated from his soul. Yu Qingru groaned and fell softly to the ground, losing consciousness. Lin Moyu also groaned, completely losing consciousness. The purple gold light on his body became weaker, almost collapsing. This was the soul attack of the past Buddha. enough to make all cultivators below the high-level God-sovereign realm unconscious. Seeing Lin Moyu lose consciousness, the soul of the past Buddha finally boldly rushed towards Lin Moyu. 1865. Chapter 1865. You have no chance. The soul got closer and closer to Lin Moyu, finally revealing its fangs. He was a member of the Soul Devourer race. As long as he could enter Lin Moyu's soul world, devour Lin Moyu's soul, and occupy Lin Moyu's body, he could inherit everything from Lin Moyu and become another Lin Moyu. Although Lin Moyu was only a minor god sovereign, it didn't matter. Lin Moyu was a genius, a top-tier genius. Once he became Lin Moyu with proper cultivation, he could quickly become a holy sovereign. He had done this before, possessing bodies again and again, each time choosing a genius, becoming stronger with each change. He had lived for 100,000 years and was one of the survivors of the Soul Devourer race. Survivors like him were very rare. Others didn't know a characteristic of the Soul Devourer race. Their souls could live forever. As long as they could find suitable bodies, they could live indefinitely. So even if there was only one survivor, as long as they were careful, the Soul Devourer race could continue to exist for a long time. The body of the future Buddha was already old, and he had long wanted to change it. This time was also an opportunity. As for the life and death of the Buddha race, he didn't care at all. To him, whichever race's body he occupied, he would consider himself part of that race. If the Buddha race perished, so be it. Closer, even closer. Lin Moyu's delicious body was right in front of him, and he was about to be reborn. Suddenly, a strong and powerful hand grabbed him. The soul of the past Buddha exploded in shock, but it was enveloped in a purple-gold light, unable to move. A cold voice sounded.
I heard that the Soul Devourer race has no combat power without a body. But I'm surprised you still have soul attack abilities. It seems the information isn't entirely accurate.
Lin Moyu was enveloped in purple-gold light, white energy flowing around him. All his injuries rapidly healing, showing no signs of previous weakness.
Tricked.
The future Buddha finally realized he had been tricked. Lin Moyu was just pretending. The future Buddha's voice was cold.
I didn't expect to be outsmarted by you.
Lin Moyu smiled slightly.
It's not outsmarting, just a bit of acting.
The future Buddha snorted.
Do you think you can trap me like this? I lost this round, but remember, our feud isn't over. When I return, it will be your death day. Just hope you can still recognize me then.
The future Buddha sneered, his soul emitting a faint light, becoming illusory and blurry. The soul turned into light, slipping through Lin Moyu's fingers. Lin Moyu smiled and shook his head.
It's useless, you can't escape.
100 meters away, a light group reappeared. The future Buddha screamed in panic.
What did you do?
Lin Moyu smiled.
Guess.
Lin Moyu wasn't in a hurry, nor did he try to catch him, as if he wasn't afraid of him escaping. The future Buddha looked around, suddenly realizing something, his voice trembling.
The void realm of the Holy Sovereign.
Lin Moyu snapped his fingers.
Correct, but no reward. Stay in the void realm, the Holy Sovereign will be here soon.
After Lin Moyu finished speaking, his body gradually became illusory. Seeing Lin Moyu about to leave, the future Buddha screamed.
Come back, let me go, name your conditions. As long as you agree to let me go, I can recognize you as my master, be your slave for eternity. A holy sovereign level henchman will be very helpful to you, believe me, I'm very obedient.
Lin Moyu's figure continued to become illusory, accompanied by a disdainful sneer.
I have plenty of henchmen, I don't need a useless one like you.
The door to the void realm closed. Everything returned to darkness. When Lin Moyu grabbed him, he had already activated the Holy Sovereign's token, opening the void realm. Opening the void realm was just a precaution. Lin Moyu thought that a soul devourer, a holy sovereign level soul, must have some life-saving means. 100,000 years ago, even Xiao Zhantian couldn't completely exterminate them, so he had to be careful. So he used the life-saving token given by the Holy Sovereign to create the Void Realm, trapping him inside. The Void Realm opened silently. The future Buddha didn't notice at all. As a result, Lin Moyu guessed right, he did have life-saving means. If not for the Void Realm trapping him, he might have escaped. That would have been real trouble. The aftermath of the explosion finally subsided, the starry sky slowly repairing under the rules of the great world. The self-destruction of a holy sovereign was too powerful. The repair of the starry sky was slow, needing some time to recover. Lin Moyu returned to the battleship. Seeing the unconscious Yuqingru, he released a burst of life force. The abundant vitality fell on Yuqingru. She groaned softly and slowly woke up. Seeing Lin Moyu was fine, Yuqingru's eyes showed surprise.
Are you okay?
She didn't care why she fainted just now, her eyes only on Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu smiled.
I'm fine, it's all over.
Yuqingru looked Lin Moyu up and down, confirming he was really fine. Then she was truly relieved.
Why did I faint just now? The soul of the future Buddha used a soul attack.
Lin Moyu briefly explained what had happened. Yuqingru was astonished it turned out to be like this. She had heard of the soul devourer race, a very terrifying race. Their terror lay not in their strength, but in their possession ability. After 2 minutes, with the distortion of space, the War God Fortress appeared in the starry sky. Along with the War God Fortress, several warships of the starry sky fishman race appeared. The elders and holy sovereigns flew out. Lin Moyu and Yuqingru went to meet them. Seeing Yuqingru was fine, the elders of the fishman race were relieved. Then they saw the nearly destroyed princess battleship. Their faces changed. The place was filled with the aura of a great battle, the broken starry sky slowly repairing, the power of rules permeating. There was no need to say the battle here was very intense. The holy sovereign whispered,
Where is the Buddha now? Which direction did he escape?
Lin Moyu said,
He's dead.
Everyone was shocked. A Buddha? How could he be dead? If he was really dead, there was only one possibility. Lin Moyu killed him. But how could Lin Moyu kill a Buddha? The gap in their realms was too great. Among them, the one who knew Lin Moyu best was the Holy Sovereign. He knew Lin Moyu's combat power was strong, not to be measured by realm. But to say he could kill a Holy Sovereign, absolutely impossible. The War God Sovereign's eyes flickered.
How did he die? Forced to self-destruct.
Lin Moyu repeated what he had told Yuqingru. At the same time, he handed the Holy Sovereign's token to the Holy Sovereign, the token containing a void realm, with the soul of the future Buddha inside. Hearing that the soul of the future Buddha was a soul devourer, everyone's faces changed again. From their expressions, Lin Moyu knew this was a big deal. He guessed the terror of the soul devourer race was far beyond what he knew. There must be more hidden truths. The Holy Sovereign checked his token, seeing the soul of the future Buddha in the void realm.
It really is a soul devourer.
He casually strengthened the void realm in the token just in case. The War God Sovereign frowned.
This is big trouble.
1866. Chapter 1866. The Return of the Starry Sky Fishmen. The Grand Elder of the Starry Sky Fishmen, Yuqingxue, had a complex expression on her face.
I didn't expect the Devouring Spirit clan to still exist. This is a terrifying race. It seems the great world will be in turmoil again.
War Saint Venerable said,
Fortunately, he is trapped in the Void Realm. If he escapes, that would be the real trouble.
How Saint Venerable was worried.
I wonder if he has managed to send out any information.
Lin Moyu was puzzled.
With double spatial confinement, can he still transmit messages? He can.
How Saint Venerable confirmed.
The Devouring Spirit clan has a special ability. They can communicate with each other regardless of spatial distance. However, the farther the distance, the greater the consumption. And this communication ignores spatial confinement. Even now, with him in the Void Realm, I don't know if we can block this ability.
Such a perverse ability indeed. Ignoring confinement. They can communicate with their clan members just by consuming energy. This is too perverse. War Saint Venerable shook his head.
I don't think he has contacted his clan members. They wouldn't contact their clan members easily. The specific reason, I'll tell you when we get back.
Killing Saint Venerable's voice was filled with killing intent.
No matter what clan they are, if they dare to harm the human race, they will be killed.
War Saint Venerable nodded.
The battle should be almost over.
His words were an order. Several beings at the other shore realm simultaneously attacked, rushing towards the nearest star system to join the battle. Yu Qingxue also issued orders for the elders of the Starry Sky Fishmen to cooperate. With the combined efforts of both sides, the efficiency was surprisingly high. All the ancient Buddhas and Buddha ancestors of the Buddha clan were killed, and their power was gone. 2 days later, this blitzkrieg ended completely. The entire process lasted less than 4 days. Because it was accurate and thorough, it was very smooth and very quick. War Saint Venerable said to Yu Qingxue,
This star field will belong to you from now on.
Yu Qingxue understood the meaning behind War Saint Venerable's words.
Yes, we will clean up the aftermath here. We will also set up teleportation arrays to allow both clans to interact.
War Saint Venerable said,
As agreed, our War God Hall will send a team to help you guard until your situation stabilizes.
Yu Qingxue smiled.
If you have any actions, we will fully cooperate.
The previous agreement between the two sides was not just about helping the Starry Sky Fishmen seize territory. There were many things that required the cooperation of both clans. After all, the spatial advantage of the Starry Sky Fishmen made many actions convenient. Just like this time, without the spatial power of the Starry Sky Fishmen, even if the human race wanted to attack the Buddha clan, it would have cost a lot. And it would have been inevitable that some would escape, causing trouble later. Unlike now, with double spatial confinement, communication was cut off, and a direct internal raid made escape almost impossible. This time, the Buddha clan was completely finished, with almost no survivors. Even if a few escaped, they were just small fry, and the great world would no longer have a place for them. Lin Moyu knew that no race actually liked the Buddha clan. Even the Demon clan, which had a lot of dealings with the Buddha clan in secret, would only add insult to injury. The Starry Sky Fishmen began to clean up the battlefield, and the human race also left many gods to help guard. In the following days, a large number of Starry Sky Fishmen would come to reorganize the star field. The shattered stars would be refined and fused again. The gods would rebuild star systems, forming homes suitable for their survival. It wouldn't take many years for this star field to flourish again. The Starry Sky Fishmen would soon announce their return to the entire great world. One of the 4 great source races, the Starry Sky Fishmen, who had been in seclusion for many years, would make a high-profile return, and they would return by exterminating the Buddha clan with the human race. One could imagine how shocking this news would be. It would make many races tremble with fear. Yu Qingru and Lin Moyu stood in the starry sky, with starlight shining on their faces from a distant star. Yu Qingru was a bit reluctant.
You are going back. When will we meet again?
Lin Moyu said.
If I have the chance, I will come here to find you.
Yu Qingru suddenly smiled.
I remember what you said. If you don't come to find me, I won't forgive you.
Lin Moyu smiled without saying much. Some things are better left unsaid. After all, Yu Qingru's identity was different. Once some things were said, it would be hard to take them back. The war god fortress slowly started and disappeared into the starry sky. Lin Moyu left, and Yu Qingru felt empty inside, her eyes unknowingly becoming moist. A gentle hand rested on Yu Qingru's shoulder. Yu Qingxue said,
Qingru, some things can only be kept in your heart.
Yu Qingru said,
Grand Elder, is there really no way?
Yu Qingxue sighed.
If he can break through to the Saint Venerable realm.
This was easier said than done. Breaking through to the Saint Venerable realm, no one had done it in a million years. Although Lin Moyu was a top genius, and Yu Qingxue believed he could reach the other shore realm and even become a Saint Venerable. But to say that Lin Moyu could reach beyond the Saint Venerable realm, even Xiao Zhantian hadn't accomplished that. And Yu Qingxue didn't think Lin Moyu could. Yu Qingru was very smart. The reluctance in her eyes faded, and she said,
Grand Elder, I want to hear the story of the ancestor of the Luo god.
Yu Qingxue smiled.
Haven't you heard it before?
Yu Qingru rarely showed a girlish side, softly acting spoiled.
But I just want to hear it again.
Yu Qingxue's eyes were filled with affection.
All right, then I'll tell you the story of the ancestor of the Luo god.
The War God Fortress traveled through deep space. War Saint Venerable reported a number.
In this operation, a total of 832 gods died in battle, including 522 gods from the 1st to 3rd tiers, 271 gods from the 4th to 6th tiers, and 39 high-tier gods. 3 beings at the other shore realm were injured, none died. No Saint Venerables died.
After reporting the numbers, War Saint Venerable issued another order.
When we return, give these brothers a grand burial. Their families will receive special treatment and special quotas to join the War God Hall. Understood.
Immediately, a being at the other shore realm took the order. War Saint Venerable said,
In a few days, all races will know about the destruction of the Buddha clan. Some races might take action, so we must be prepared.
How Saint Venerable said,
Preparations were made before the action. All major military districts have already started to be on guard. There won't be any major problems.
Killing Saint Venerable sneered.
I want to see who dares to take action. It's not like it was back then.
How Saint Venerable shook his head.
They might not take action now, but our actions could make them feel threatened. They might join forces again.
Killing Saint Venerable snorted.
If they dare to come, I'll kill them until they cry for their mothers.
Rune Saint Venerable was playing with a treasure in his hand. It was a treasure similar to a ruler. Ancient runes appeared on the treasure. Rune Saint Venerable seemed to be studying the ancient runes, muttering,
Once I understand this treasure, our human race will have no more worries.
Lin Moyu felt the power of fate from the treasure. It was a treasure related to the laws of fate. Lin Moyu thought of something and was about to speak when How Saint Venerable interrupted him.
We'll talk about it when we get back.
1867. Chapter 1867. The Divine City is also a terrifying magical treasure. House Sovereign didn't give Lin Moyu a detailed explanation, but with Lin Moyu's intelligence, he could naturally guess. The reason was related to the Soul Devourer race. The appearance of the Soul Devourer race had alerted the sovereigns, especially since this Soul Devourer had appeared in the identity of a Buddha. One can imagine how deeply the Soul Devourer race had been hiding all these years. Although there had always been a human emperor network monitoring within the human race, the network could not monitor people's hearts, nor could it guarantee 100% that there were no hidden Soul Devourers inside. External enemies are not scary. What's truly frightening is internal chaos. If there really were Soul Devourers among humans, if they were only at the God-Sovereign level, it could still be controlled. But if Soul Devourers appeared among the other shore realm or sovereigns, that would be the real trouble. Even among those present, no one dared guarantee there were no Soul Devourers among them. Lin Moyu could imagine that after returning, there would inevitably be a major inspection. This inspection would affect most of the human race. At least all divine cities would have to undergo inspection. As for how to inspect, that was unknown. It seemed the human race had its methods. The sovereigns discussed the process of this battle for a while longer. Lin Moyu just listened without speaking again. When he heard that the present Buddha had once used a magical treasure to call for help, claiming to awaken an ancestor, but later there was no response. Their actions received no assistance. This point confused the sovereigns, and even made them somewhat vigilant. Lin Moyu knew very clearly in his heart that the one they called for help should have been the Ice-Fire Celestial Buddha. Fortunately, he had killed the Ice-Fire Celestial Buddha. Otherwise, if the Ice-Fire Celestial Buddha had revived, the outcome of this battle would have been hard to predict.
The Buddha race indeed had a way to revive the Ice-Fire Celestial Buddha. It's still about human nature. For the sake of their own power, they ended up sending themselves to their graves.
Lin Moyu sighed inwardly. If it weren't for their own power and not wanting to be under someone else, the Buddha race wouldn't have ended up like this. In the great world, currently no one could stop the ice-fire celestial Buddha. If the Buddha race had him presiding, the Buddha race's position would have been unshakable. It was for the sake of power that the three Buddha sovereigns didn't want someone above them, so they never revived the ice-fire celestial Buddha. This also led to a series of subsequent events. The war god fortress returned to the human race's star region. It didn't stop in the Azure Dragon Star region, but flew directly towards the divine city. Feeling the familiar aura within the human race, with the power of the human emperor network growing stronger, Lin Moyu's heart became calmer. After approaching the divine city star region, the war god fortress didn't enter, but headed in another direction. Between the divine city star region and the four major star regions, there was an area that looked very desolate. In the middle of the dark wasteland, a huge star system appeared before Lin Moyu's eyes. This star system had 2 dim suns and 28 huge planets. Before even entering the star system, Lin Moyu sensed countless terrifying auras. There were many other shore realm beings inside, and countless god sovereigns.
Is this the headquarters of the War God Temple?
Lin Moyu was slightly surprised. Hidden in this dark star system was the power of the War God Temple. The War God Fortress stopped outside the star system and didn't enter. How Sovereign said,
Old War, the War God Temple area is up to you. You should know what to do.
War Sovereign nodded.
Don't worry, we have ways to deal with the Soul Devourer race in the War God Temple. As for you all, the affected range is very wide. It might be more troublesome.
How Sovereign sighed.
No matter how troublesome, it has to be done. Let's hope the results aren't too bad.
As he spoke, How Sovereign swept his gaze around.
Let's go.
How Sovereign, Kill Sovereign, Symbol Sovereign, and several god sovereigns not belonging to the War God Temple all stood up at the same time. Bidding farewell to War Sovereign and the others, How Sovereign took out a warship, and everyone flew towards the Divine City Star region. From How Sovereign's expression, it could be seen that waves might be stirred up within the human race next. Lin Moyu was somewhat curious how Sovereign and the others would investigate the Soul Devourer race. After all, the Soul Devourer race's ability to possess and hide was extraordinary. Now the present Buddha and future Buddha had coexisted for tens of thousands of years. Yet they couldn't discover that the future Buddha had been possessed by a Soul Devourer. Lin Moyu was curious what methods the human race had. It seemed he would know soon. Those present now would surely be the first batch to be investigated. Even sovereigns could not be exceptions. How sovereigns seemed to have communicated something with the human emperor network. They didn't enter the Divine City Star region through the port star, but directly plunged in from another side. The array protecting the Divine City Star region opened a gap. The human emperor network interfered with reality, directly opening a brand new channel for them. After entering the Divine City Star region, the warship began to accelerate rapidly, advancing at the fastest speed. Star systems flashed by like reflections, quickly receding into streams of light. The aura of the human emperor network intensified sharply. Lin Moyu knew they were advancing towards the true core of the human race. The warship made spatial jumps again and again. After flying who knows how many light years, it finally stopped. Lin Moyu also saw what was outside the warship. It was an incomparably magnificent city, larger than star systems. The city was covered by countless arrays, standing firmly in space. There were countless buildings in the city, each one beautiful and exquisite. Especially in the center of the city, a great hall stood there, its height impossible to estimate. Roughly judging from its size, this great hall was larger than stars. Lin Moyu even felt it could contain the small world he was born in.
The human race's divine city, Central Divine Hall.
Lin Moyu murmured softly. The holy land yearned for by the human race, the true divine city of humans. Every human cultivator wanted to come here. In the description of the human emperor network, The divine city was a great existence, a great work of human ancestors. Even when the human race experienced the most terrible disaster back then, the divine city stood unshaken amidst the flames of war. Lin Moyu put away the shock in his heart and carefully examined the divine city. Gradually, he saw some clues. The divine city was not a product of this era, but a relic from ancient times. 1868. Chapter 1868. The human race only has 6 great sovereigns. The sudden change in the Human Emperor Network even made Lin Moyu feel that the Human Emperor Network itself possessed intelligence. But on second thought, it might also be that someone was secretly manipulating the Human Emperor Network. Both possibilities existed, making it difficult to discern. How Sovereign took the pill.
This is called the verification pill. The possession by the soul devourer race is not absolutely perfect. There will be some degree of incompatibility. The verification pill can verify whether the body and soul are completely compatible. However, the verification pill is not foolproof. There have been instances where the verification pill failed. Therefore, in addition to the verification pill, we also need to use the Great World Oath. Using both together ensures absolute safety.
After How Sovereign explained, Lin Moyu also received a message from the Human Emperor Network. Please swear the Great World Oath. The content of the oath is as follows. I have never had the intention to betray the human race. Even the content of the Great World Oath was strictly regulated, making Lin Moyu feel the rigor of this inspection. How Sovereign calmly said,
You should have received the message from the Human Emperor Network. Actually, it's nothing. Everyone entering the Divine City must undergo inspection. The Great World Oath is a must. You'll get used to it.
As he spoke, How Sovereign crushed the verification pill, which turned into a light mist that enveloped him and quickly seeped in. How Sovereign explained,
The verification pill is not for ingestion. Just crush it.
Then How Sovereign raised 3 fingers to the sky and swore the Great World Oath, word for word as given by the Human Emperor Network. A muffled thunder sounded in the starry sky, and the oath was established. How Sovereign set an example.
Now it's your turn.
Everyone present followed suit, crushing the verification pill and swearing the Great World Oath. Thunderous sounds continued to echo in the starry sky, and everyone present passed the inspection, making the atmosphere more relaxed. The power of the Human Emperor Network gradually receded, and the colorful light band surrounding the warship turned into a guiding path, directing the warship. Lin Moyu clearly felt himself passing through layers of arrays. As the core of the human race, the Divine City had numerous checks and defenses which were not excessive. Finally, the warship entered the Divine City. Compared to seeing the Divine City through the arrays, the feeling of actually entering it was completely different. Through the arrays, the Divine City appeared illusory and hazy, but now it could be seen clearly. This was a city beyond words, with the central Divine Hall towering high, its height immeasurable. Just the central Divine Hall alone could accommodate a small world. The entire Divine City was comparable to a star system, far surpassing the small world where Lin Moyu was born. Besides the central Divine Hall, various buildings were distributed within, many of which were larger than ordinary stars. Lin Moyu saw 4 tall towers around the Divine City. Each tower had a star on top. The stars had been refined, significantly reduced in size, but their power remained undiminished. These stars provided light for the entire Divine City. Overall, the buildings in the Divine City were distributed in a special way, full of a certain charm. Lin Moyu carefully observed, deeply shocked and suddenly understood, blurting out,
This is an ancient rune.
How Sovereign smiled.
You're right. The entire Divine City is actually an ancient rune. More accurately, the Divine City is built on an ancient rune. Therefore, the buildings on it are constructed along the lines of the ancient rune.
How Sovereign was not surprised that Lin Moyu could see through it. After all, Lin Moyu was an excellent rune master himself, and he had even comprehended the Tao. The Rune Sovereign's achievement of becoming a sovereign also had Lin Moyu's contribution. Lin Moyu couldn't help but praise.
The ancient cultivators were truly powerful.
House Sovereign squinted his eyes.
Compared to the sages, we are far behind.
He then looked at House Sovereign.
Lin Moyu is visiting the Divine City for the first time. As the host, you should give him a good introduction.
Everyone present was familiar with the Divine City. House Sovereign chuckled.
Of course.
He noticed that everyone's attitude towards Lin Moyu was somewhat unusual, especially the looks from House Sovereign and Kill Sovereign, which were different from before. Previously, Lin Moyu was seen as an outstanding junior in House Sovereign's eyes. Even though House Sovereign treated him as an equal, it was more of a gesture rather than true equality. But this time, House Sovereign's gaze had changed, showing true equality. House Sovereign realized that something must have happened during the battle with the Buddha race that caused this change in House Sovereign and the others. Boom! A mushroom cloud suddenly rose, followed by a huge shockwave. The warship shook slightly. For a warship at the other shore realm to shake, the explosion must have been powerful. Countless arrays flashed in the sky, suppressing the explosion, and a few seconds later, a deafening sound was heard. Lin Moyu looked at this scene with a strange expression. This was the Divine City. It was impossible for someone to attack it. House Sovereign was used to it.
Another furnace explosion.
He explained.
The Divine City is divided into several areas. The explosion just now happened in the alchemy area. The best alchemists of the human race are there making pills. The explosion was due to a failed alchemy attempt, causing the furnace to explode. The person responsible is called the Alchemy Sovereign, who reached the other shore realm through alchemy.
Following House Sovereign's direction, Lin Moyu saw a figure, the Alchemy Sovereign, as mentioned by House Sovereign. Reaching the other shore realm through alchemy might not make one strong in combat, but their role could surpass other sovereigns. The Alchemy Sovereign was at the edge of the mushroom cloud, directing others in the rescue. Lin Moyu asked,
How many sovereigns does our human race have now?
House Sovereign said,
Currently, there are 6 sovereigns still alive. So few?
Lin Moyu was slightly surprised. Given the vastness of the human race, having only 6 sovereigns showed how difficult it was to achieve that level. Not to mention the supreme above the sovereigns, which was even more challenging. In this era, they were indeed much weaker compared to ancient times. Among the 6 sovereigns, he had met all except the Sword Sovereign. House Sovereign chuckled.
It's extremely difficult to become a sovereign. Having 6 sovereigns already puts us ahead of other races.
He then pointed to another area.
That's the artifact refining area, dedicated to crafting various magical treasures. The best artifact refiners are there.
The warship flew towards the central Divine Hall, and House Sovereign continued to introduce the Divine City to Lin Moyu. The 4 tall towers were called the 4 Towers. The stars at the top provided energy for the entire Divine City, keeping it running. These 4 stars had been burning for countless years, existing since the Divine City was built. In addition, there were other stars inside the Divine City serving as energy sources. The energy needed for alchemy and artifact refining came from the stars inside the Divine City. Moreover, the Divine City had a materials area for refining materials. There was an analysis area for analyzing the magical treasures and equipment of enemy races. There was a pharmaceutical area not for ordinary medicine but for making poisons. These poisons were targeted at enemy races, harmless to humans, but deadly to enemies. There were also living areas, combat areas, training areas, and more. The Divine City had various functions, representing the highest standards of the human race. 1869. Chapter 1869, Old Matters Gone, New Matters Arise. Under the introduction of House Sovereign, the Divine City seemed more like a logistics city. One could imagine that in ancient times, while the frontline warriors were fighting, the support personnel in the rear were also working day and night, conducting production and research to provide support for the front lines. If both sides were evenly matched, the final battle would often come down to logistics. The warship stopped 10,000 meters away from the central Divine Hall. Everyone disembarked from the warship, and the several other shore realm experts dispersed. However, Hao Sovereign issued an order that they could not leave the Divine City temporarily, nor could they communicate with the outside world. In the Divine City, the power of the Human Emperor network was at its peak. Even the other Shore Realm experts could not hide from the Human Emperor network. They had already been verified not to be from the Soul Devourer race, but it could not be guaranteed that there were no Soul Devourers in their families. Being cautious was never wrong, and no one opposed House Sovereign's approach. Only 4 sovereigns and Lin Moyu remained in the field. House Sovereign waved his hand.
Follow me.
Everyone followed House Sovereign into the central Divine Hall. In front of the superstructure, which could accommodate an entire small world, Lin Moyu felt his own insignificance. Countless runes were engraved outside the central Divine Hall, and these runes were very profound, beyond Lin Moyu's understanding. But Lin Moyu could feel that these runes were very powerful and should form a complete rune array. Once activated, its power would be astonishing. Inside the hall, a magnificent golden road was laid out, its width unimaginable. This road was paved with a massive amount of white jade. Lin Moyu roughly estimated that even if all the white jade from a star system were collected, it would not be enough to pave this road. Even the sides of the road were paved with high-quality green jade. The white jade and green jade emitted a faint glow, exuding a hazy jade aura, looking somewhat dreamy. After flying for a while, they finally reached the center of the hall. A staircase inlaid with gemstones extended upwards, and at the top of the staircase, a throne was placed. The throne was extremely exquisite and luxurious. Below, on both sides, were numerous jade chairs, numbering in the thousands. These jade chairs were all carved from whole jade stones, not pieced together later.
What a grand display!
Lin Moyu marveled in his heart. Not only was it grand, but also extremely luxurious. One could only wonder what kind of person was worthy of such a divine city. It seemed that in ancient times, the owner of the divine city was also a person of extremely high status. House Sovereign did not sit at the head position but found a place on the side to sit down. He then said to Lin Moyu,
Lin Xiaoyu, find a place to sit. There are no outsiders here, so there are not many rules.
Lin Moyu responded and sat down next to House Sovereign. House Sovereign said,
Now we can talk about the whole process.
House Sovereign looked at Lin Moyu.
We will talk about our situation later. I want to hear what Lin Xiaoyu has to say first.
Lin Moyu said,
After the battle started, Yu Qin grew and I went to the center of the Buddha race's star field. It was said that there was a special black hole there.
House Sovereign nodded.
I have heard about this. Elder Yu Qingxuan mentioned that there seemed to be some treasures there.
Lin Moyu nodded.
Yu Qingru thought the same, so we went together. Later, we found out that it was not a black hole, but a real world.
The eyes of the 4 sovereigns lit up simultaneously. Obviously, the rule world had a strong attraction for them. But then they thought it was not right. If it was a rule world, why didn't the 3 Buddhas of the Buddha race absorb it but let it be there? A rule world was a great treasure for the sovereigns. Lin Moyu said,
It was not an ordinary rule world, but a rule world of 2 ancient supremes.
House Sovereign seemed to want to say something, but House Sovereign gave him a look, signaling him not to interrupt Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu continued,
The 2 ancient supremes, one from the Buddha realm, not our Buddha realm, but the real Buddha realm. He was called the Ice Fire Celestial Buddha, and the Celestial Buddha was a supreme realm. The other was an ancient human supreme, named Blackstone Supreme. During the ancient war, the Buddha realm tried to intervene, but was stopped by Blackstone Supreme. The 2 sides fought, and in the end, the rule worlds collided, nearly perishing together.
Lin Moyu recounted what happened in the rule world, and the 4 sovereigns fell into deep thought. Kill Sovereign suddenly slapped his thigh.
No wonder those guys said they wanted to awaken their ancestor, but nothing happened. It turned out that Lin Xiaoyu had already dealt with him.
House Sovereign said in a low voice,
We were careless. We didn't expect the Buddha race to have such a move. If it weren't for Lin Xiaoyu, and they had awakened the Ice Fire Celestial Buddha, it would have been a big trouble.
Lin Moyu's ears twitched. House Sovereign only said it would be a big trouble. This indicated that even if the Ice-Fire Celestial Buddha had revived, they had a way to deal with it. Or rather, the human race was not afraid of the Ice-Fire Celestial Buddha. House Sovereign saw Lin Moyu's confusion and explained,
If it were just the Supreme, with the foundation of our human race, we could still handle it, but the cost would be great. Fortunately, Lin Xiaoyu dealt with the Ice-Fire Celestial Buddha this time, reducing a lot of losses for the human race.
House Sovereign turned to Lin Moyu.
This time, it was indeed a great opportunity for Lin Xiaoyu. As Blackstone Supreme said, I hope Lin Xiaoyu will have the chance to rebuild the divine path in the future.
Lin Moyu said softly,
I will do my best.
House Sovereign took out a pagoda, and the power of rules flowed from the pagoda, breaking its shell and revealing its true form. It was not a Buddha pagoda but a human treasure pagoda. Although both were pagodas, there was a big difference between a human treasure pagoda and a Buddha pagoda.
This Star River Pagoda was originally intended for you to use when you advanced to the God Sovereign. I didn't expect you to be just one step away from the God Sovereign, making this thing not very useful. But I keep my word, so this thing is still yours.
Although it was said to be useless, House Sovereign still threw the Star River Pagoda to Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu communicated with the Star River Pagoda with his consciousness and learned its function. The Star River Pagoda was a soul treasure. When advancing to the God Sovereign, the soul would enter the Rule Star River to receive its baptism. The Star River Pagoda could accept part of the Rule Star River at this time, infusing it into the body, greatly enhancing the body. Although it could not achieve the effect of the body entering the Rule Star River, it was much better than doing nothing and passively enhancing the body. This pagoda had always been in the hands of the Buddha race. House Sovereign had planned to give it to Lin Moyu after eliminating the Buddha race to help him advance to the God Sovereign more perfectly. But now, with the guidance and help of Blackstone Supreme, Lin Moyu had directly entered the Rule Star River with his body, achieving a better effect than using the Star River Pagoda. However, House Sovereign still gave the Star River Pagoda to Lin Moyu. Whether Lin Moyu needed it or not, he kept his word.
An elder's gift, I dare not refuse.
Lin Moyu accepted the Star River Pagoda with pleasure. This was a good thing, a soul treasure. Even if he didn't need it, it was much more valuable than ordinary soul treasures. Even if he didn't need it, his friends might. Good things were never too many, and Lin Moyu would not be polite. House Sovereign joked. Lin Moyu smiled and did not refute. After the joke, House Sovereign's face turned serious.
The Buddha race is gone, but new troubles have arisen. Next, we need to discuss how to deal with the new troubles.
1870. Chapter 1870. Do you have any good ideas? Everyone's expressions tightened, and the atmosphere became serious. The new trouble that House Sovereign mentioned was the Soul Devourer race. Compared to the existence of the Buddha race, the Soul Devourer race was the real big trouble. Right now, they still didn't know if the future Buddha had managed to send out any information. This was the innate ability of the Soul Devourer race. Even if they were trapped in the Void Realm, there was no guarantee that they could be stopped. House Sovereign threw his token into the air. The token hovered in mid-air and then expanded, forming a projection. The projection revealed the scene inside the Void Realm within the token. A soul was constantly roaring inside. This soul was not large, even smaller than a fist. It had eyes and a mouth but no nose. Although the soul was small, its aura was not weak. It was already at the other shore realm. Tian Sovereign observed and said,
Indeed, it is the Soul Devourer race.
At this moment, he pointed his finger, and a layer of light screen descended from the sky, recording all the information about the Soul Devourer race. Tian Sovereign continued,
After receiving House Sovereign's message, I have retrieved all the information about the Soul Devourer race. Let's review it before we discuss further.
Everyone knew what kind of race the Soul Devourer race was, but their understanding was mostly superficial. They hadn't appeared for nearly 100,000 years, so there was no in-depth understanding. Tian Sovereign had retrieved all the information from the Human Emperor Network, which was the most comprehensive information the human race currently had. Lin Moyu carefully reviewed the information, thinking and analyzing at the same time. There was a lot of information, and it took him half an hour to read it all. At this moment, he had formed a systematic understanding of the Soul Devourer race and knew what kind of race it was. Strictly speaking, the Soul Devourer race had only one ability: possession. Before possession, the Soul Devourer race was just a group of souls. They were not strong, had no attack power, and couldn't even cultivate. This was the weakness of the Soul Devourer race. If they couldn't possess, they were extremely fragile. However, the great world is fair. Given such a significant weakness, they were also given several heaven-defying abilities. The Soul Devourer race had 4 heaven-defying abilities. First, their soul realm reached the true God realm at birth, which was a higher starting point than many races. Second, once they started possession, their souls were almost invincible within the same realm. It was difficult to resist their possession within the same realm. Third, they had no life limit. As long as they found a new body before the host died, they could live indefinitely. Fourth, they had the ability to communicate without restriction within their race. As long as they were willing to consume soul power, they could communicate regardless of distance, and no known method could restrict this. These 4 abilities seemed heaven-defying, but they also had limitations, especially the second and third abilities. Their possession targets had to either completely relax and not resist or lose consciousness and be unable to resist. If the target was conscious, possession was almost impossible. The third ability was similar. They could indeed live indefinitely, but each possession would lower their realm. This realm was not based on their soul realm but on the host's realm. No matter what realm the Soul Devourer reached, possession would be useless. If the possessed person was a minor god sovereign before possession, they might drop to the 8th tier of the God King realm or even lower after possession. The most common situation was a drop of 3 minor realms. The great world is fair. Every race has its advantages and disadvantages. There were many stories about the Soul Devourer race in the information. These stories were all true, many paid for with blood, and some were obtained from the Soul Devourer race's ancestral land after their extermination. The survival of the Soul Devourer race had always been difficult due to various limitations. They initially could only possess some not-so-powerful beings. Even so, they had to wait for the right opportunity to succeed. After success, it was still difficult to cultivate and grow, until one event changed everything. The Soul Devourer race once possessed a starry sky beast. This starry sky beast was not high in realm, only a god king. Moreover, this starry sky beast had no powerful attack abilities, only one ability. It could launch soul attacks to make people unconscious, which was almost always successful within the same realm. This was actually the starry sky beast's life-saving ability. When in danger, it would launch a soul attack to make the enemy unconscious and then escape. The Soul Devourer race, by chance, possessed the starry sky beast. Using this ability, they began their counterattack. They were very smart, first turning this ability into their own technique so they could use it even after leaving the starry sky beast. Then they used their powerful soul power to stun the enemy and then possess them. With this method, they began to possess in large numbers, gaining a lot of cultivation techniques and resources. Until later, when their actions were exposed, many races discovered that their people were no longer themselves. So they denounced the Soul Devourer race, which was quiet for a while. Later, during the 100 Races Alliance's attack on the human race, the Soul Devourer race was among them, taking the opportunity to possess many humans. This led to many tragic incidents of humans killing each other, until finally, Xiao Zhantian emerged and completely exterminated the Soul Devourer race. After reading all the stories and information, Lin Moyu deeply realized how troublesome and terrifying the Soul Devourer race was. Even Xiao Zhantian couldn't kill them all back then. After 100,000 years of dormancy, who knew how much the Soul Devourer race had developed, how many members they had, and how many races they were lurking in? In Lin Moyu's view, this race was like a virus with astonishing concealment and infectivity. As long as they didn't expose themselves, it was hard to find them. The light screen disappeared, and Tian's sovereign said in a low voice,
Everyone has finished reading, right? Let's hear your thoughts.
The usually silent symbol sovereign was the first to speak this time.
I think the future Buddha did not send out any information. The future Buddha's soul aura is still relatively complete. Sending out information would consume a lot of soul power, which is not hard to see.
How Sovereign agreed with Symbol Sovereign's view.
At this moment, he is in my void realm. The void realm and the outside world are not in the same space. The power consumption for them to send information should be even greater, and he doesn't seem to have that.
Tian Sovereign nodded.
Then let's discuss how to find the Soul Devourer race members hidden among us.
How Sovereign asked.
What is the production rate of the verification pill?
Tian Sovereign shook his head.
I have already instructed the Alchemy Sovereign to go all out, but only 10,000 pills can be produced per day.
Given the number of humans, 10,000 pills per day was just a drop in the bucket. Even if only God Sovereigns were given the pills, it would take a long time to cover everyone. This was a helpless solution, not the best one. Slap. Kill Sovereign slapped his thigh again.
If only that treasure was still here, we wouldn't have so much trouble.
That treasure? Lin Moyu couldn't think of any treasure that could solve this problem. Symbol Sovereign explained.
Our human race once had a causality treasure that could trace back to the source based on the law of causality. Unfortunately, that treasure was lost in an ancient ruin.
Tracing back to the source meant that they could directly find other Soul Devourer race members through the future Buddha's soul. Tian Sovereign sighed.
Stop talking about useless things and think of some practical solutions.
How Sovereign looked at Lin Moyu.
Lin Xiaoyu, do you have any good ideas?
1871. Chapter 1871. Not necessarily all bad. Everyone's attention was focused on Lin Moyu.
Lin Moyu understood Dao Souveraigne's intention.
Actually, whether he was right or wrong was not important. These sovereigns just wanted to hear his opinion. From his response, they could gauge his ability to grasp the overall situation. Perhaps they already had a plan in mind. Lin Moyu didn't hold back.
I have a few ideas. I don't know if they are right or wrong, but please listen. First, this matter cannot be rushed. Whether it's the verification pill or the Great World Oath, it can only be done step by step. So I think we should first identify a group of key individuals, starting with the other shore realm, then the God Sovereigns. But the God Sovereigns are spread too widely. Distributing the verification pills to them will also take a lot of time.
Everyone knew that even the Human Emperor Network couldn't make everyone swear the oath simultaneously. The human race was too numerous. No matter how powerful the Human Emperor Network was, it couldn't manage everything at once. Being able to oversee one star system at a time was already impressive. This matter couldn't be resolved with just an announcement. It had to be personally supervised by the Human Emperor Network. The entire process would take a lot of time.
For those who can't get the verification pill, they should first swear the Great World Oath, one star system at a time, until the entire Divine City Star region is covered. The oath should also include a clause that this matter cannot be disclosed, keeping the information sealed. This is the first thing to do. The second thing is to have the Human Emperor Network check if anyone's realm has suddenly dropped. The characteristic of the Soul Devourer race is that after possession, the realm will drop by 3 to 5 minor realms. There shouldn't be too many such people, and I believe the Human Emperor Network can identify them. We need to pay special attention to these people. Of course, there might also be people who are possessed outside the Human Star region. They might return to the Human Star region after restoring their realm. But such people also have a characteristic. Their cultivation stagnates for a long time, and then suddenly starts to recover. The third thing is to make all those returning from outside the star region swear the Great World Oath from now on. I think the Human Emperor Network can manage this. The fourth thing is to trouble the Symbol Sovereign to see if he can set up a corresponding rune array to achieve an effect similar to the verification pill.
Lin Moyu laid out his thoughts one by one, and the sovereigns gradually showed satisfaction in their eyes. Especially House Sovereign, whose eyes were filled with more appreciation. Symbol Sovereign said,
Lin Xiaoyu, you are really testing me.
Lin Moyu immediately said,
I have confidence in Symbol Sovereign.
Symbol Sovereign sighed.
Then I can only give it my all.
Where Sovereign suddenly asked,
Lin Xiaoyu, from what you just said, it seems you are very familiar with the Human Emperor Network. Did someone tell you about it?
As he spoke, his gaze shifted to House Sovereign. Lin Moyu's methods just now actually revealed that he seemed to be very familiar with the Human Emperor Network. In fact, it was almost as he said. Although the Human Emperor Network was powerful, it also had many limitations. Most cultivators couldn't detect the various limitations of the Human Emperor Network. Lin Moyu shook his head.
It's all what I sense myself. In the Divine City Star region, the power of the Human Emperor Network is strong, even able to interfere with reality. But in the 4 major star regions, the power of the Human Emperor Network is relatively weak. Although it can also interfere with reality, the area it can affect is much smaller. And the closer to the center of the Divine City Star region, the stronger the power of the Human Emperor Network. For example, here, the power of the Human Emperor Network is very strong.
Tian Sovereign squinted his eyes.
Lin Xiao's soul sensitivity is beyond imagination.
Lin Moyu was a bit puzzled. Wasn't it because his soul was strong enough that he could sense these things? House Sovereign said,
The sensitivity of the soul and its strength are related, but not entirely. Some people have weak souls but are very sensitive, with a strong sixth sense. And some people, although their souls are strong, are very slow to react, like that one.
As he spoke, he looked at Kill Sovereign. Kill Sovereign immediately widened his eyes.
You old guy, what do you mean? Nothing.
House Sovereign ignored him. Kill Sovereign snorted, sitting angrily, glaring at House Sovereign with a look that said,
Just you wait.
Tian Sovereign said,
Soul sensitivity is a good thing. Lin Xiao's suggestions are all good and aligned with our thoughts. The issue of the soul devourer race is very troublesome and will take a long time to deal with. It can't be rushed.
Lin Moyu asked,
Seniors, should we release the information about the soul devourer race? Release it, why not?
Tian Sovereign's eyes were dangerous.
Even if we don't release the information, they will soon find out. There might be soul devourer race members among the Starry Sky Fishman clan. They will definitely conduct their own investigation, and the information can't be hidden. Soon, all races will know that we and the Starry Sky Fishman clan have exterminated the Buddha race. They will definitely take action. Every race will fear ending up like the Buddha race. In their panic, they will definitely join forces and might even attack us. But if there is information about the Soul Devourer race, they will first conduct internal investigations. After all, almost every race has suffered from the Soul Devourer race. Even we humans find it difficult to investigate internally, let alone those guys. It will probably take them 100 or 80 years to finish their investigation. These years will be enough for us to complete our next plans.
House Sovereign said,
In my opinion, the appearance of the Soul Devourer race, although a considerable trouble, is not entirely without benefits.
The plans discussed between the human race and the Starry Sky Fishman clan were not as simple as exterminating the Buddha race. There were further plans that required time to complete, preferably without interference. Originally, the human race had other arrangements, but now with the issue of the Soul Devourer race, as long as they released the information, all races would definitely conduct internal investigations. Other races, unlike the human race, did not have the Human Emperor Network. Their internal investigation efficiency was lower and would take more time. This would buy enough time. After discussing for a while, Tian Sovereign issued several orders. From today, the borders of the Human Star region would be closed. All human cultivators were not allowed to leave the Human Star region. The reason was not disclosed to the public. Lin Moyu knew it was to prevent any Soul Devourer race members within the human race from escaping. In this way, even if the future Buddha managed to send out the information, it would be useless. All returning human cultivators would have to pass the dual tests of the verification pill and the Great World Oath. The Human Emperor Network began to inspect the human race, starting with the Great World Oath. The first to be inspected were all the other shore realm and god sovereigns within the human race, as well as all military personnel. As long as these people were fine, there wouldn't be any major problems. After confirming they were fine, the inspection would proceed star system by star system, eventually covering the entire human race. The Human Emperor Network would also count those whose realms had suddenly regressed and those who had left the human star region for over 100 years without progress in their cultivation. The Human Emperor Network usually recorded information about everyone, and now it would come in handy. The entire inspection process was expected to last over 50 years, with no specific end time. With the orders issued, an invisible storm officially began within the human race. 1872. Chapter 1872. I'll take you to meet someone. Two pieces of news that could shock the entire world swept through various races like an unprecedented storm. The Buddhist race was annihilated, and the ones who did it were the human race and the starry sky fishmen race. As two of the four major source races, they eradicated the Buddhist race with thunderous force. According to the news, they left no survivors, not even chickens or dogs. The Buddhist race's star domain was completely shattered and left in ruins. The starry sky fishmen race is currently repairing the star domain that originally belonged to the Buddhist race, and it will become their territory in the future. The starry sky fishmen race had been hidden for many years. Although they are one of the four major source races and control the power of space, no one knew their true strength. However, the fact that the starry sky fishmen race ended their seclusion and re-entered the world indicates that they must have encountered some trouble. For example, a lack of resources or problems in their hidden land. Regardless of the reason, it indicates that there are internal problems within the starry sky fishmen race. Moreover, they had to cooperate with the human race to annihilate the Buddhist race, which also shows that their strength is inferior to the Buddhist race. Some races are eager to test the waters, wanting to probe the starry sky fishmen race while they are still establishing themselves. Other races are beginning to worry, fearing that the human race and the starry sky fishmen race might turn their blades on them next. These races all have past grudges with the human race. No race dared to question the human race. After all, the Buddhist race claimed neutrality and never participated in conflicts between races. There was no reason to annihilate them, but the human race is too strong. Even among the powerful races, they are one of the top, so no one dared to challenge them. Just as the various races were struggling to reach a consensus, a second piece of news spread. The future Buddha is actually from the devouring spirit race. The devouring spirit race was not completely wiped out. They had been lurking for 100,000 years. This news immediately disrupted the plans of all races. This is the real threat. Compared to the human race's blade, the devouring spirit race is the immediate and urgent problem. All races have suffered losses to the devouring spirit race, with members of their races being possessed by them. In the past, the devouring spirit race was not well received even within the coalition of 100 races. It was only because of mutual interests at the time that they were allowed to join the coalition. All races witnessed the brutal scenes of the human race killing each other under the manipulation of the devouring spirit race. Later, Xiao Zhantian was the first to annihilate the devouring spirit race. At that time, everyone thought the devouring spirit race had been completely eradicated, but it turns out there were remnants. After 100,000 years of lurking, no one knows how much the devouring spirit race has proliferated or if they have infiltrated their own races. In such matters, it is better to believe it exists than to believe it does not. Thus, a vigorous self-examination began. No race had the leisure to care about other matters. Their first priority was to find and eliminate the devouring spirit race within their own race. But the devouring spirit race is deeply hidden and hard to find, destined to be a time-consuming and laborious task. No one doubted the authenticity of the news because it came with images. The soul of the devouring spirit race was clearly visible. In the human race's divine city, inside the central temple. Saint Hao opened a secret path and flew down with Lin Moyu. At first, it was a pitch-black world. After flying for a while, a light appeared in the distance. As the light appeared, Lin Moyu felt an extremely astonishing and immense energy. This energy far surpassed that of a saint and was comparable to a supreme. The two rushed into the light, and countless streams of light flashed before their eyes, making the whole world seem dreamlike and illusory. Lin Moyu felt as if he was in another galaxy, with countless stars twinkling, making it hard to distinguish between reality and illusion. He suddenly realized that the divine city was built on a giant ancient talisman, and at this moment, he was inside this ancient talisman.
This is the world within the ancient talisman.
Lin Moyu said softly. Saint Hao nodded.
The sages of ancient times were indeed extraordinary, far beyond our comparison. They pushed the evolution of ancient talismans to the limit, giving them infinite uses. You should know that the source of our world is a rune, an extremely powerful and mysterious rune.
Lin Moyu nodded. He knew this well, and he had even seen the world rune with his own eyes. Saint Hao continued with admiration.
The goal of the ancient sages was likely the world rune. They wanted to use the way of runes to approach the world rune, or even control it. After all, legend has it that whoever controls the world rune can control the entire world and become its master. Unfortunately, it seems the ancient sages did not succeed.
Antares had said similar things, but he was more certain than Saint Hao. Clearly, Antares knew a lot of information. The dragon race is a mysterious race. Everyone knows of their existence, but few have truly interacted with them. No one knows how long they have existed. The 4 major source races do not include them, but Lin Moyu felt that the dragon race's history predates the 4 major source races. Perhaps they existed as early as ancient times. Lin Moyu calculated the route, using the entire divine city as a reference. He roughly knew that he was heading towards the center of the ancient talisman.
What is at the center of the ancient talisman?
Lin Moyu wondered. Saint Hao smiled.
You should be about to break through to the divine saint, right?
Lin Moyu nodded.
Actually, I could have broken through earlier, but it was inconvenient at the time, so I stopped.
Saint Hao sighed.
Your foundation is extremely deep and almost perfect. If someone else forcibly interrupted their breakthrough, it would leave after effects, making it difficult to break through to higher realms in the future. But you are different. Even if you interrupt your breakthrough, it won't affect your future. And I believe you have your own considerations for your decisions, but regardless, such things that go against common sense should be done sparingly. I'll take you to meet someone, and let him take a look at you. You can break through there.
Lin Moyu was a bit surprised. There was actually someone at the center of the ancient talisman. Who could be at the center of the ancient talisman? After flying for a while, Lin Moyu suddenly felt an incredibly strong aura of laws. Various laws intertwined and surged like a storm. Lin Moyu suddenly understood where he was going. Only that place could have such a number and intensity of laws.
The Sea of Laws.
In the entire world, only the human race's Sea of Laws could have such a number of laws. The Sea of Laws is a very important place for the human race. People enter the Emperor's training ground through the Emperor's network to see the Sea of Laws. But the Sea of Laws, there is a projection created by the Emperor's network. Very few people have seen the real Sea of Laws. Lin Moyu then thought of the old man fishing in the Sea of Laws. The person Saint Hao wanted to take him to see was most likely this old man.
What is the identity of this old man? Saint Hao's tone seemed to have a hint of respect. The human race has 6 saints, but he is not one of them. If he is not a saint yet can be here, could he be a supreme? No, the path to divinity is broken. There will be no new supremes in the world. Saint Tian said that even if the ice and fire heavenly Buddha were resurrected, the human race would have a way to deal with it. Was he referring to this old man?
Lin Moyu thought a lot in that instant. Countless stars appeared in his vision. The Sea of Laws had arrived. 1873. Chapter 1873. Little Hao Hao, long time no see. The real Sea of Laws and the virtual Sea of Laws. At first glance, there is not much difference between the two. But if you look closely, you can still see many differences. Lin Moyu keenly felt the difference between the two and murmured,
No wonder the real sea of laws is not open to the public.
In the real sea of laws, a large number of laws are entangled together, making it difficult to distinguish one from another. In such an environment, most cultivators find it hard to practice. Even Lin Moyu found it difficult to comprehend the laws in this environment. However, in the Emperor's training ground, in the virtual sea of laws, you only need to choose the law you want to comprehend. The Emperor's network can clearly present the required laws, and with the change in the flow of time, the efficiency of cultivation in the Emperor's training ground is astonishing. Similarly, the consumption is also astonishing. Lin Moyu also understood why the Emperor's training ground is so expensive. Earning points is so difficult, but spending them is so easy. Separating and distinguishing a large number of laws requires a lot of energy. Here, the power of the Emperor's network is very clear and quite powerful. Saint Hao said,
Do you understand now?
Lin Moyu nodded.
I understand. Then let's go. I'll take you to meet someone.
Saint Hao took Lin Moyu and flew towards the depths of the Sea of Laws. This is the holy land of cultivation for the human race, with a large number of law stars floating inside. Each law star is formed after a god's death. There are no cultivation insights of the gods in the law stars, no personal belongings, only the comprehension of the laws. The gods have a 100% control over their own laws. Therefore, the laws contained in the law stars are complete. Saint Hao explained,
When a god's lifespan comes to an end, they condense their lifelong law power into a law star. Law stars of the same type can merge with each other, extending their existence. Countless gods of the human race, generation after generation, maintain the sea of laws.
Lin Moyu listened with respect. This place is a gathering of the selfless dedication of the predecessors of the human race, condensing unimaginable strong will. He walked through the sea of laws, his eyes falling towards the deepest part, where he saw 6 special law stars. They are much stronger than other law stars, several times larger. Lin Moyu couldn't help but ask,
Are those the law stars of the transcendent realm?
Saint Hao nodded.
Yes, the lifespan of the transcendent realm also has an end. They also condense their law power into stars. But the law power of the transcendent realm has changed, mixed with a lot of rule power, so they are very special and powerful. If one day I die, I will become one of them, as a continuation of my life.
Saint Hao smiled brightly, as if he had already thought about his afterlife. Lin Moyu didn't speak. He hadn't thought about these things. He was still young and didn't want to die. The key is, he still has ideals and wants to climb to higher peaks. Before truly reaching the peak, he cannot die. Lin Moyu said softly,
Senior will not die.
His voice was light but very firm. Saint Hao laughed heartily.
Good, I hope your words come true.
At the other end of the Sea of Laws, Lin Moyu saw the old man again. At this moment, Lin Moyu trembled slightly, his eyes showing a trace of disbelief. This old man was indeed the one he had seen before. However, he felt that the old man was somewhat unreal. If this feeling appeared in the Emperor's network, it would be normal. But if it appeared here, it would be abnormal. This is the real world. How could the old man have a sense of illusion? Saint Hao came to the old man.
Greetings, Star Elder.
Star Elder chuckled.
Long time no see, Little Hao.
The term,
Little Hao.
almost made Lin Moyu laugh. Saint Hao, who had lived for tens of thousands of years, was actually called Little Hao by someone. This scene was very interesting. Saint Hao's mouth twitched twice, looking helpless.
Star Elder, please don't joke with me. Okay, Little Hao.
Star Elder answered seriously, then looked at Lin Moyu.
Do you feel uncomfortable?
Lin Moyu's expression was strange at this moment. He really wanted to laugh but couldn't, holding it in hard. He forced a smile and respectfully saluted the old man.
Junior Lin Moyu, greetings, Star Elder.
Star Elder waved his hand. indicating that Lin Moyu didn't need to be so polite.
Good, good. We met not long ago. How is your rune research going?
Lin Moyu answered honestly.
I have made some progress.
Star Elder nodded.
The way of runes is the fundamental way. Although all paths lead to the same destination, no matter which path you take, the way of runes is always closer. Thank you for your guidance, Senior.
Lin Moyu was very polite. Saint Hao said,
Star Elder, I brought him here to let you see if his foundation has any problems.
Star Elder finally got up.
Come and sit down.
Under him there was a round law star. Star Elder actually used the law star as a stool, which made Lin Moyu a bit speechless. Isn't it said that law stars are formed after the death of gods? Using them as stools seems a bit disrespectful. Saint Hao saw Lin Moyu's thoughts.
The star that Star Elder is sitting on is not a god's lost star, but a star condensed from excess laws.
Lin Moyu noticed that this was indeed the case. The law star emitted chaotic laws with all kinds of laws present. In this way, it indeed did not belong to any god. But at the same time, Lin Moyu was also surprised. Being able to condense so many laws into one star, this strength is truly remarkable. Many of the laws are mutually conflicting. Merging one or two is fine, but there are at least 1,000 here. Lin Moyu asked himself he couldn't do it. With various thoughts in his mind, Lin Moyu still obediently went over and sat down.
Don't move, it will be over soon.
Star Elder said with a light smile. Lin Moyu only felt a warm current rising from under him, instantly enveloping his whole body. His body felt as if it was being washed by some magical power. In less than a second, Star Elder said,
Little guy, your foundation is very solid. Unexpectedly, you even found a supreme to refine your body. Have you achieved the purple gold body?
Lin Moyu nodded.
Yes, I have.
Star Elder clapped his hands lightly.
Not bad, not bad. The legendary purple gold body, the soul of the transcendent realm. You are already qualified to enter the Star River with your physical body. Little Hao, he is much stronger than you guys. Back then, I told you not to rush your cultivation, to improve your physical body and enter the Star River with your physical body. But none of you listened to me. You even said it was impossible, but this little guy did it.
Saint Hao felt like he was being scolded by an elder, a feeling he hadn't had for many years. But he didn't dare to refute. Lin Moyu was a bit embarrassed by the praise.
Senior, you flatter me.
Star Elder shook his head.
Not at all. Since you are here, it's perfect. Just integrate into the Star River and become a god.
Lin Moyu said softly.
Star Elder, I have already entered the Star River.
As he spoke, Lin Moyu summoned the Law Star River. At this moment, Saint Hao's eyes widened. 1874. Chapter 1874. Intelligence seems to be increasing. A gray and white Law Star River appeared. When other gods' Law Star Rivers appeared, they were all above their heads. But Lin Moyu's Law Star River was beneath him. Moreover, Lin Moyu was not yet a god, yet he could summon the Law Star River at will. Lin Moyu's body slowly sank into the Law Star River, which roared and surged, washing over his body. Saint Hao knew that Lin Moyu was about to step into the realm of gods and had stopped at the last moment, just a hair's breadth away from becoming a god. Additionally, his body had been refined by a supreme with the power of rules, making his physical body extremely strong, having achieved the legendary purple gold body. However, he never expected that Lin Moyu would directly enter the Law Star River with his physical body. Compared to the purple gold body, this was the true legend among legends. The purple gold body is equivalent to a ticket to enter the Star River with one's physical body, but it does not mean that achieving the purple gold body allows one to walk into the Law Star River. Lin Moyu did it, accomplishing what was said to be impossible. Saint Hao murmured,
This is truly abnormal.
Star Elder snorted.
What abnormal? This is a true genius. You youngsters don't listen to the elders and suffer the consequences.
Saint Hao closed his mouth again, not daring to speak. If he said more, he would be reprimanded by Star Elder again. Obviously, Star Elder was already very displeased with these disobedient juniors. Fortunately, Star Elder's attention was mostly on Lin Moyu. His eyes filled with approval.
Not bad, not bad. It's been so many years since I've seen a genius who can enter the Star River with their physical body. You are just a hair's breadth away from becoming a god. Whenever you want, you can become a god. Since you have come here, it is our fate. I will give you a law seed. May you grow into a law tree and bear law fruits in the future.
Lin Moyu did not understand what a law seed was, nor did he know what a law tree and law fruit were. But since Star Elder said it was his most treasured item, it must be something good. Moreover, seeing the envious look in Saint Hao's eyes, it was clear that it was indeed a valuable item. To make a saint envious, it must be something extraordinary. Lin Moyu was not foolish and quickly accepted.
I dare not refuse the elder's gift.
Star Elder nodded in satisfaction, then looked at Saint Hao with impatience.
What are you still doing here, little Hao Hao? Go back, you must have a lot to do. This little guy is safe with me. He will return naturally after his breakthrough.
Star Elder issued an order to leave, and Saint Hao dared not stay any longer.
Then I will trouble you, Star Elder.
He turned and left without hesitation. Lin Moyu maliciously guessed that Saint Hao did not want to hear the term
Little Hao Hao
anymore. Star Elder sighed.
These youngsters like little Hao Hao don't listen. Otherwise, with their qualifications, they could also achieve the purple gold body.
To become a saint in this era, one's qualifications in cultivation must be excellent. In ancient times, each of them would have been top geniuses, but the era limited them. At this moment, Star Elder turned his palm, and a seed the size of a fingernail appeared in his hand. The seed looked plain and unremarkable, with nothing special about it.
Gather!
With a light shout from Star Elder, countless law stars in the sea of laws lit up simultaneously, and a large number of laws flew towards the seed. Lin Moyu opened his soul eye and saw thousands of law lines connecting to the small seed. The seed glowed, and the law aura within it grew stronger, making the seed seem to grow slightly larger. He could feel that the seed was filled with various laws.
Merge!
With another light shout, the laws within the seed began to merge, becoming indistinguishable from one another. The seed glowed, emitting various colors of light, which constantly changed and eventually turned into a hazy color, exuding a unique aura. Lin Moyu's heart skipped a beat.
It seems somewhat similar to the Chaos Law, but not as inclusive. Chaos Law is more inclusive than this.
Gradually, the light on the seed completely disappeared, leaving only a faint mist, and the seed grew larger. Star Elder said,
This is called a law seed. It contains various laws, planted in your soul world, and when you become a god and comprehend other laws, it will sprout and grow, making it easier for you to comprehend laws. Water it with laws, and it will grow into a law tree and bear law fruits. Consuming the law fruit can greatly enhance your comprehension of laws. If you eat the law fruit, you might directly master a law to perfection. But what kind of law fruit it will bear depends on your luck. Each law tree can only bear one law fruit. After picking the law fruit, the law tree will wither and become a law seed again, requiring a second watering. And this thing can only be eaten by you. Giving it to others is harmful. Do you understand?
Star Elder handed the law seed to Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu immediately took it.
Thank you, Senior.
It was indeed a good thing. Consuming the law fruit could give him a chance to master a law to perfection. While other gods were still struggling to comprehend their second or third law, he could gain different laws just by eating law fruits. At this moment, Star Elder seemed to remember something.
By the way, are you planning to comprehend multiple laws?
Lin Moyu nodded.
Yes, I do have that plan.
Star Elder was relieved.
That's good. If you only comprehend a single law, it would be a waste.
Lin Moyu's soul moved, and the law seed flew into his forehead. appearing in his soul world the next second. But as soon as it appeared in his soul world, before Lin Moyu could find a place to plant it, a magic star swooped down. The infinite fusion magic transformed into a big mouth and swallowed the law seed in one gulp. Lin Moyu's soul I watched the unexpected event unfold, but was too late to stop it. The speed of infinite fusion magic was too fast, faster than the speed of light. By the time his soul reacted, it had already finished eating. It burped contentedly and returned.
This guy must have planned this.
Lin Moyu thought. When the law seed was in his hand, it already knew but did not show it. When the law seed entered his soul, it immediately came to snatch it. If this wasn't premeditated, what was?
Its intelligence seems to be increasing.
Lin Moyu thought. Although it was a pity, being eaten was being eaten. Compared to the law seed, infinite fusion was much more useful, so Lin Moyu did not feel distressed. As long as Star Elder did not find out, it would be fine. Otherwise, it would be hard to explain. Saying that his magic had gained intelligence would be hard to believe. Star Elder seemed not to notice and said,
All right, you can break through to becoming a god now.
Lin Moyu responded and immediately began his breakthrough. The Law Star River roared, entering his body and soul world, filling the last gap. The heavens roared. In the Divine City Star domain, colorful rain suddenly began to fall. 1875. Chapter 1875. The Soul of the Saint, the Small Achievement of the Purple Gold Body. The colorful rain slowly fell in the star domain, not only on the stars but everywhere in the star domain. A beautiful colorful star river appeared out of thin air, like a rainbow, dancing in the star domain. The light and shadow of the colorful star river appeared in various places in the star domain, and people in each galaxy could see the colorful star river as long as they looked up. The light of the stars was covered by the colorful star river, and even during the day, when the sun was high, the colorful star river could be clearly seen.
Where did this colorful star river come from? I've never seen it before. And this colorful rain, I've never seen it either. Where did it come from, and where is it going? It's truly magical. And this colorful rain, I feel so comfortable being in it, as if I've been reborn. It's not an illusion. Some of my old injuries seem to be showing signs of recovery. What exactly is going on? Does anyone know?
For a time, the Human Emperor Network was abuzz, with everyone discussing the sudden appearance of the colorful rain and the colorful star river. People only realized after entering the Human Emperor Network that the colorful rain covered the entire Divine City Star domain, an unimaginable scale. The colorful star river could also be seen throughout the entire star domain, which was incredibly magical and beyond common sense. In the core of the Divine City, outside the huge light cluster, colorful rain was also falling. The colorful star river also appeared here, constantly dancing. The various beings in the beyond realm simultaneously looked at the colorful rain and the colorful star river, shocked beyond words.
What is this phenomenon? Why have I never heard of it? Colorful rain, colorful star river, indeed unheard of. I've lived for 10,000 years and have never seen such a phenomenon. Covering the entire Divine City Star domain, the scale is beyond imagination.
Madame, you murmured.
Colorful rain, it seems I've heard of it somewhere.
Old Lin also whispered.
Indeed, I've heard of it. It should be some kind of legend, but I'm not particularly clear. The saint might know. It shouldn't be a bad thing.
In the Divine City, colorful rain was also falling, and several saints left the central temple, looking at the magical scene. Saint Hao sighed repeatedly.
I didn't expect the legend to be true.
Saint Tian also praised endlessly.
Back when we were still in the Beyond Realm, we entered an ancient ruin together and obtained some information. When someone achieves the status of a god with the purple gold body, the heavens will have colorful rain falling to celebrate. When someone achieves the status of a god with a perfect posture, the heavens will have a colorful star river appearing to celebrate.
Saint Hao chuckled.
I remember old Shah back then scoffed at it. Now he's been proven wrong, hasn't he?
Saint Sha snorted.
Didn't you get proven wrong too? Back then, you said that colorful rain and colorful star rivers were nonsense.
Saint Hao shook his head.
Actually, I always knew it wasn't nonsense. It's just that we had already reached the beyond realm back then, and it was too late to turn back, so I could only say that to stabilize my Tao heart.
Saint Tian sighed.
Star Elder once advised us, but unfortunately, we didn't listen.
Saint Hao shook his head.
At that time, we were young and impetuous. How could we endure the tedious and boring body refining, which could take hundreds or thousands of years? Star Elder just scolded me, and I really have no words to respond. Lin Moyu has now achieved the status of a god with a perfect posture. His future is limitless. Little Tian Tian, do you still think Lin Mohan is more likely to rebuild the divine path?
Saint Tian thought for a moment, looking into the distance.
Both are possible. After Lin Moyu's breakthrough, the bloodline resonance will greatly benefit Lin Mohan as well. As Lin Moyu's realm gets higher, Lin Mohan's realm will also continue to improve. Maybe when Lin Moyu reaches the Saint realm, Lin Mohan will have already been pushed to the Supreme realm.
What Saint Tian said was not impossible, just very unlikely. Saint Hao smiled.
I hope it goes as you wish.
In the sea of laws, Lin Moyu was enveloped in purple light. Star Elder looked at Lin Moyu, his wrinkled face full of smiles. His eyes were also full of the love of an elder for a younger generation.
He's really a good child. I hope you can succeed. If you can't, this era might have no hope.
He turned his head, and a fishing rod appeared in his hand. The long fishing line floated into the sea of laws, and he began to fish. Everyone knew there were no fish in the sea of laws, but Star Elder fished with great interest. Lin Moyu finally stepped into the realm of gods, unaware of the phenomena appearing in the world. At this moment, he was sitting in the Law Star River, which surged into his body, entering his soul, surrounding him completely. Lin Moyu felt as if he was bathing in a hot spring, with the last gap being filled. His soul grew stronger and stronger, having already reached the beyond realm, and now taking another step forward. Lin Moyu knew that his soul had reached the high level of the 5th grade, which is the level of a saint. In terms of the soul alone, he was no worse than any saint. His whole body glowed with purple and gold light, and his physical body also strengthened again after stepping into the realm of gods. The purple gold body became even stronger, and the light became even more intense.
The purple gold body has reached a small achievement.
Previously, the purple gold body could only be considered as just entering the door, but now it had reached a small achievement. In this era, no one practiced body refining. Not to mention the purple gold body, even those who achieved the great achievement of the Divine King Golden Body were very few. Because of this, Lin Moyu had no one to compare with. But he knew that, in terms of physical body alone, he was already one of the top existences in this era. A saint-level soul, a top-notch physical body. Now his only shortcoming was his realm. The realm needed to cross the Star River. In the Law Star River, the farther one walked, the higher the degree of integration with the Law Star River, and the higher the realm. Until one reaches the end of the Law Star River and steps onto the other shore. Lin Moyu knew very well that he was different from others. Others crossed the Star River with their souls. No matter how far their souls walked, their physical bodies remained motionless on the shore. Even if they finally reached the other shore, it was only their souls that arrived, while their physical bodies remained unmoved. In Lin Moyu's view, such an other shore was not the true other shore. But he needed to cross the Star River with both his physical body and soul, truly stepping onto the other shore. However, such a path was more difficult to walk. The physical body in the Law Star River faced many restrictions, unlike the freedom of the soul. Lin Moyu smiled slightly.
No matter how difficult, I must cross it. I don't care for shortcuts.
He took a deep breath, like a dragon absorbing water, and a large amount of the Law Star River was absorbed into his soul world. The Law Star River exploded in the soul world, turning into countless water vapors that flooded the entire soul world. Having already ascended to the realm of gods, the next step was the evolution of spells and talents. Each major realm upgrade brought amazing changes to spells and talents. The leap from a god to a divine king was an incredibly huge one. Lin Moyu had a faint feeling in his heart that the changes between the two would be enormous. His soul opened its eyes and first saw the giant talent tree. Compared to spells, the giant talent tree was obviously more important. His ability to reach his current level was inseparable from his talents. The giant talent tree was shaking violently, seemingly also happy for Lin Moyu's ascension. The leaves rustled, like countless big hands clapping. The water vapor in the soul world enveloped the giant talent tree, which was growing, becoming taller and taller, once again showing a trend of towering into the sky. Lin Moyu clearly felt that the giant talent tree was rapidly growing stronger. Suddenly, a colorful rain appeared in the soul world, like sweet dew falling. 1876.